into the hands of government is never enough for government to provide the support that must be provided the entrepreneurs so they can bring the prosperity that we need. And mess the economy, create an unstable environment so that the entrepreneurs are not able to do their work. The economy is not expanding in the proper areas. Production is still very low. When I look at all of you, and I look at the youth, we are churning out of our universities and our institutions. Where are we going to find work for them? Why? Look, this country cannot go on like this. We can never go on like this. At some point, we have to draw the line and to say this is where we change course. Others have done it. Why can we not do it? Why can we not do it for our entrepreneurs to create jobs for the youth and to bring prosperity to our people? Folks, why can we not do it? We have not been able to do it because all the wrong things I just spoke of in government, they feed people's interests. So they are not easy to change. And so sometimes politicians set out to do their best. The interests are very strong. They fail, and then along the line, they give up and they join the loot. Folks, in order to fix this mess and prevent this country from going into the kind of ditch we see, and stop what is likely to be a more difficult Ghana for our children and our grandchildren, we have got to stop at some point and change course. And to do that, you would need a leadership that is radical. You will need a leadership that can confront and disrupt this unhelpful status quo. You need a bold leader. As for the suit-wearing gentlemen, we have seen them and seen them and seen them. A time has come when Ghana has to be taken over by people who are willing to confront and disrupt the status quo and set this country on a path to prosperity.
Because the best way I always deal with concerning propaganda is data only DTT concern. And it's something that NDC for common tenants. Like no propaganda, no me killing them with data all the time. Make sure data.
Ene wi ensobo ade nyankropon amayen ahoden ne nkwa wose yemfantoa abrabo no so na ne yentimi anye ne da ene ye ode nkwa chen wama ya ahoden empem so yentonko so yenhwe ne betimi ayafa ho ewi memmo ha o gidi se wi enso boko de ye dobo ade nyankropon na se ne obo wo bo bien ono na wonye mfumso enu nti wo oti wei mfumso bia ni wo ho adwuma a waye wo ho mfumso bia ni wo ho o say you are fearfully and wonderfully made so obegya tomu saa na wagye adi so wo dipadua a wusi wei wato ne bo ayi ne yam na wanwene wo a obenya mu gidie o mani amansan ka emfa wo ho no emu abamu o ma ne etoto wa brabomu emu abamu because in your heart of hearts ete wakoma mu say you are fearfully and wonderfully made no obi ayaye ne saa no nso woni nkugo obi ayaye ne saa no nso so no onsi apene wa brabomu obesi apene mpu a enya afebo and no kind of say the righteous shall fall but they shall rise again shall hun cry na kentene wo ho why shall hun cry na kentene wo ho mema abrabomu nsem woni konana ema wo mma kokora prekope minimo obi sa mema abrabomu nsem ema wo mma abrewa prekope waya mu amu achedodo wasu agu ye mu achedodo wadi yawo achedodo emre ni a wose walk out of that situation free mu nefi woso wo ho pensuo bi dware wama abrabomu nsem aka wa hyedam ache they say woni gidie wo mu problem kakra tu nti wakadem o feri so besi nipa mu they say wonji nipa ni biem enti won kan ho nko nipa mu ewie me say bomoden na hye ho nkran na kentene wo ho bowe adwaye pensu pa bi dware pesebu na hwehwem bi fa gu ho dware yie shawata de pa bi brete mi yo menko hye ho akomfo shawata de pa bi wo perfume kakra fa gu ho sofo wuso ansa na kan wo se da woni sika kura na wo hyada na woye ne sa wie a kogina hwehwe nanim wo hu na hwe the man in the mirror hwe papa ne maame no ogina hwehwe nanim no hwe brantie ne ababa awa no ogina hwehwe nanim no uhu na smile kire no obe smile back to you na ka che ne se wo ye nkonimudifo tell the man you see in the mirror on what dware awie no wa hye watade pa bi atu perfume papa bi de agu ho no patcho kogina hwehwe nanim obehunu obi e wa hwehwe nimu sere kire no na ka che ne se wo ye nkonimudifo inkuguo die mfatawo catch any say. Oba dia di yedie ehyira wo. Ka kire nipa na wo hunu no omero anim ni se. Nia wode won sabe sobo bi ebe ye yie ka kire no. Wo se he wo gira mero yi mu. Bibia wode won sabe so bi ebe ye yie. Ka kire nia wo hunu omero anim ni se. Obofo ne wo yefo ka wo ho. Pacho o kasa nsem wi a. Sa smile kire nipa na hu no mirror ni mu no. Ya ka che ni se unia se ye wie di sa no yensi krom. Tisi krom with your chest out, with a smile on your face. Baby ana ofere so be kono ko. Shawata de pebi ko fa ho. Wonu mu a ebo wa bro no ko wo mu nchen. Okwa ma wani mu nya sedie. Wonu mu asum afidi omu yi wo no. Na aye omu se anka ebe wie wo wuntimi mpia bontini biem. Wuntimi nsi krobu biem. Omu aye kanana mu adwuma firi wunsa. Omu atwa ntrato wo so. Ama ya ma wakotena fie. Obi atwa ntrato wo so agye wunsam adwuma. Enam obi so nti wo dofo bi afiri wunsa o. Opportunity bi anka benya. Enipa bi abo ho po ama na sei. Yedi hu konkonsa. Baby yedi hu konkonsa no. Ena wadware a wadwen watade pa bi ahye. Wo perfume papa bi gu hu no. Baby yedi hu konkonsa no. Kone kofa ho. Udu ho smile. Smile kire wo mu chia wo mu kama. Uchia wo mu nso ama won samonya den ma won samonya firm ne chia ne grip wo mu o grip na busodo no se na ho ye de Mia wo ye nyina wonim wo tirim se mkoye wo side o bato boado baga waya eya kukuduro eye gidie wo mu ni obo wo ko ba bia ne ye reject wo no ne smile kire wo mu me se ko ho ba bia ye di hu nkonsa no ko Baby ye wu hwe no ne sa kofa ho no mu hu se wote hwe nanso ne wasan gida wona so awia me hye unkuran awia me di we pusu awia me si pie free dem kwana na wakote ho ache wo hye ho ache dodo problem ka kanti na watu akwati na kurasi a wo mpeso bebe kromu biemu o opportunities wa ha emma ni pani nje wahwe ase ho emma watamfo eni ahurusie nche. They may rejoice, but it is just for a moment. So by you ready, so be sorry there, and your woman rejoicing forever. No one why you want you say baby, a woman bow a question the one I bet that there. One day I hear say you're not there, and you now because what you woman need oh I say but surprise them, disappoint them, show up at the party, show up at the funeral, show up at the wedding, show up at that family meeting, and let them see you are alive. Let them see, say, Omo Pimo now so Omo Intimianku. Piano Munu say, Omo soon sign what I dear now so Omo Intimiambo what deja. And then my menu so for a crama what in a mission crying. Crying said, and now so from Quahona war. Or see in the last days. I mean, quoting Kahon. Joyce and ya Jerry. Jemima, I know and now Susie say. Now, boy, when I baby Hama was listening, Sarana. Don't make your enemies happy by staying in that situation. Step out of it and let them know the righteous shall fall 10 times, but he shall rise again. When you hear me, we are in here, and ya shasiano, and ya hiasiano, and ya kugu, and ya disappointment in here. So be sorry, be here, but he shall rise again. Will you rise or continue to lay down? Stand up, arise. Be that say, Jibama, arise. Shall one day what in a human emotion? Shall one day Me woni me adwuma me boja o. Nti wani emre de ani obesu saa. And my bomb producer ba ku japa awie. Me rest studio. Baby, I'm sorry. Ba. Jemima. Me I want results. It is a results in my dear. You be a magic fire. I mean, me crab me fire me home. That how. And ya come on show ni any kado na mumrika. I saw the feature of paya plania besine. And anka hemachi ni eba. And nani nyina beti. Memo akwaba. Mema wo awa etu. Eba epa ho adabe njubedie so. Bidin ne Besmack Brown in case you want to know. Bet me and me BB and B Brown. We're live on radio and live on Facebook and everywhere. Beton Safro, join us. Yendi Ghana home common and everywhere. Over Facebook and what kind what they won't come on so akahubie. And we am come over na yedi. The Chief Justice, the suspended Chief Justice. Justice Gertrude Tokonu. What the supplementary affidavit be a Supreme Court. Unim say me di kan catch last week. He said the suspended chief of staff challenge process na lead to the removal no. And we change so no or council so challenge 2 members of the committee or one colleagues so justices of the Supreme Court. Ene womo ena womo tena committee eba to na no ho wo se yenyi sam yenu ni mfiri ho esane se oni omumu gidie. Quite apart from that, or sansu seeking an injunction against committee na nkasa eye na adwuma. But ene wodi bia kwakoka ne odi akoto Supreme Court de da no ho na ne odi akoka ho no kra de ene de ehu pa process na shase o. But the Chief Justice is in court seeking an injunction. One of her difficulties with the committee, say, mako court, obi a mako court, me pray the court for interlocutory injunction. Na committee no ashen adwuma se. Ademu mumra na. Chief Justice say, ye de niema bi di no committee no so a. Enye ne de, ye tietia ne fa ahodie so according to ono. Ose baby ananka hearings of this nature anase cases be say baby anka yeta hia ho ne yetena ho si hunkonya no eya na eye within the precincts of the court court premises any be a conference room be ewo Chief Justice office anase any facility within the court premises enanka wo tidy such hearings now so ne de no Oma ye free ho baby dia call national security installation be osu. Na osu ho no no mo de ade na kono. The Chief Justice says baby a committee ni hia no cry intimidating. Osanso say ono ene ne lawyers ye ma wo mo kwan ma mo mfa o mobile phones ene wo mo laptops enko edem ho bi. And then so information na soft copies egugu phones so and laptops so. Na ne ye ne yakase wo mu ne se ekoba petitioners ne omo lawyers ne dia. According to the Chief Justice, they are allowed some of phones and omo laptops ebeko. Adenti no no ene ne lawyer for ye treaty wo mo sa. Or say removal proceedings are, and I quote, a mockery of justice and a ruse to unjustly remove me from office. As someone, the embattled Chief Justice said, the suspended Chief Justice, or say a kwanya woman de faswe yinuno, esre, and in the face of justice, I say, pepper yono yedi diagro. Now, or say it is a ruse to unjustly remove her. Say ase buapayo kanana kwan bi no mo pa fa so de yi na firi ho ne wo mu ye nyina na ye de katakata ne ma so pa no mo pa de yi na firi ho. But Mubakaya, the Chief Justice, na one of the issues of the Akoto Supreme Court and him say omo interpretive constitution no in a manner ebechire say obetimi waiving the rights or of private hearing nanka waye ne public. Wasi eniema we no mu a wonim se beto oni ninti na no woka se ompese hearing ne beye in camera ne momo no embeda bontini na obia ehwebe. Ewe minim nya wodwene fa asemu ihu de. But the Chief Justice is not going down without a fight. She's putting up a defense, a strong challenge against one of mu epeso mu yini free ho. Ebi said ye wo ye no. Even though wo mu nyina ye nim se ba me no ye bewie no na ye yi no. Enya de a obefi ade we mu afi. Ane ho son sia ne kan obekọ ne amanfo bi gidie no. But anka baya anka binum gidie ni sanka anka bai na krankon reason anka keka ni nyina tuntwa. But the Chief Justice believes otherwise and thinks he said I was set or putting up a fight and a defense. So she's going through the process. But Ofri Mufia, will she be able to make any damage to the credibility and image of the committee in any way? Anna? Analyst Nibiaka said it appears that is what she's seeking to do. Say onimpa se nyadia obe fimu afi enti ewo se otimima wonem a timamufuo ehunu ne ekoso na se beya ye bewie no yeyi ne kurampo a dodo na nso adwene beya omo se yamfa na mfa ekwan paso etietia ne fa ahodie so na eye pa ne yepesi eyi ne firi onti de eyi no na nyese waye bone bia ebi mu nsusuye ne se ne wo ye wo Supreme Court ho no mu ni nyina no eye a strategy to head back at the committee na se kobase yesi ebeyi na obi anso hunu se yamfa na mfa ekwan paso na yeyi no. Minim what you make of sa adwenkyere no, but you are free to join us for adwenkyere ne bra. Obetimi alternatively their fire WhatsApp line no sma kan dia ma 0594 051145 making kind in the amount. Chairman won to me Ashanti Regional Chairman ma NPP Amanyoko. And that was a copy mu or CID4 akache. CID4 a caution on a number of offenses. But Chairman won to me say he's also not going down without a fight. And he's pushing back. Also, no one year illegal mining da. On year galamsey da. Then krata na dimu. A concession dimu. But then krata na ko CID. Now, the Criminals Investigations Department has more patch and say, one more question, Chairman Wuntumi on the following alleged offenses. 1, say, undertaking mining operations without a license. 2, pollution of water bodies. 3, entering a forest reserve without authorization. We any in somewhat positive way, so a caution, openi entwibu asiako adodo na efeno chairman Wuntumi. Pacho meka caution na no nche se yese waye bone no yabo okoko komenye biemu da bi. Where initial charges are police for ne initial issues and someone enunti wo mo frɛ no eno na wo mo akuruche dia to wo niema miensa inti na police for echo the fie san ko mo ko chene na no fiada sa niema miensa na police for enunti enura omoto nsafre na wokoye saa ne ma miense ye nti enen nso so opie mu ewo police ID say investigations no kwa animu ansa na police for no betimi esi agina ya kase ye ba be charge officially say offenses wey na wa committee anu nti ye gina Ghana mra so na ya bo wo kwadu na afi ye de doctor come attorney general na ya hebe be kwa kowie. But Mukai Asamoah President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo okanfa achema wuntumi ho Mukai any akonta mining anamonkai. It was a State of the Nation address ena mampanin dada Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo kansansam ni bi ho ankofo Fred clearing agent gina Ghana fo nyina anim in spite of evidence beto abontene Forest Reserve akonta mining edidimu ehun documentary beto odwa mampani dada begina Ghana fo anim ka kire se akonta mining nye boni bia enenye boni bia chena omuntu Ghana mre bia womunko Forest Reserve bia anamurefi President Akufo-Addo kasa semi kire Ghana fo anamonkai. But the background to this very wound to me matter, and it's the coalition, the Ghana coalition against illegal mining. Officially, Emra President Akufo-Addo tiakonya so akonta mining sembaye. They officially went to the police IGP. Ekobusa ne say. Na ne yetiti documentary Erastus aye ene ehun semu abetodwa no anye bia wo mo police fo mo ye ho den. Police for catch almost say will be a man report to assembly ama womo into a So the Ghana coalition against illegal mining decided they said Samosa Monte yedia any officially ye de whole report to Bebremo. And officially omukology a complaint about akonta mining. Forest Reserve awabewuramu. Any the illegality of their operations senior omo allege at the time. IGP dada no went to one among. In fact, I interviewed engineer Ken Ashigbe on a number of occasions with Jumedie Yaso. Emma omoyeti asiye se omo hwe dampare anim. Se saa asem na womo ade beto womo anim no betu ho anamon dampare anya ho hwe. Akonta mining asemi initially almost nte ho obi amfa complain bi ambre omo. The coalition officially complained but omo to ho anamon. IGP Christian Tete Yohunu abeto sa complain no eda IGP desk so wagina so ema enei ye tutu chema wuntumi ano bisusu se ye mamra ne nya adwuma emra no momiama ne nya adwuma ye bedi asemu ihu nkomo na awie me to nsafro se fo adwenkyere ebeka ehu bi na kyere wadwene ewo issues ho na amanfo nso ente sede a ohunu saa ensemu yi na mokai se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama abayi tina konwa so. One of the first alleged scandals abayi di betu dwa ECG missing containers. Okayo Mokai missing containers. Ewie ehu asema samba na sene edin etie no
ho adaben
e ma ne mpa ho ye bedi hu komo na ewie ne energy ministry ne ma ye tie ase ene ne se omatimi a recover 2,637 ECG containers. And this is coming after an audit was done at the behest of the minister, the Honorable Dr. John Jinapo. Na containers a wɔn say wɔn recover after the audit no wohwɛ number na ɛwɔ soro paa 2,637 ECG containers ɛna wɔn betumi ɛsi so dua sɛ ɛwɔ port authorities for nsɛm kai sɛ the number of containers minister ne may yɛte aseɛ sɛ ayera a yɛhwehwɛ or the figure no to 1,300 plus 1,300 missing containers. Ana actually, omuma yɛte aseɛ sɛ containers no a ayera no 1,300 no oma kohu emu 40 ɛwɔ India ni bi hɔ. Pese ode saa two figures yi to hɔ na yɛbɛba bɛdi nkɔmɔ 2,637 ECG containers ɛna ministry ni sɛ ɔma recover after the audit ɔmo yɛyɛ 1,300 containers no mo ka kyerɛ yɛn in March sɛ ayera a yɛhwehwɛ that same March ɔmo bɛka kyerɛ sɛ emu 40 ɔmo akɔhunu wɔ India ni bi hɔ awie yɛbɛdo so saa asɛm yi mu kakra na yɛbusa some critical questions nso kakra ɛsane sɛ nneɛma ne akontabuo no ebi nsisi so yie mame
ɛpa ho adabɛn ti sinupi na nokorɛ ɛyɛ baako pɛ
yɛdi nkɔmɔ na yɛabɔ nkɔmɔ mame emra Facebook live na memra mechiao emu akwaba sane sɛ train natu na yɛba bɛdi nkɔmɔ bi ehu hia paa na train ya yɛtu yi etu ɛwɔ mreko a woka ho bi a wotimu Potassium 1 memo ha mechiao. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I say the suspended Gertrude Tokonu is behaving as if she is ignorant of the law. All the allegations she's making are vague, baseless, and lack merit. And I believe strongly that my lords will dismiss this weightless petition without any hesitation. Yate, enu your view. Akase Supreme Court no ebechere. Derek Ayete say, I am watching you live from Nkrakan in the Eastern region. Good afternoon, BB. Good afternoon, Derek Ayete. Thanks for joining us. Positive change, ewo Madina. Na positive change is through a poll conducted by Musa Nankwa, 57% or so of Ghanaians want the suspended CJ out of office. It means majority of the people she was serving don't even want her again. So why wouldn't she just resign and be free from future embarrassments and disgrace? Because no matter what, she's a goner. Positive change, anyway, free Madina. Ena ode ebaye. Alexander Kobe Bryant. And so when live on Facebook. Alexander said, good afternoon, baby. Good afternoon to you, Alexander. Thanks for joining us. And also bra Facebook live. Na beka busuano ho. Endi Ghana nkomo. Issues ahodo a eboboba. Said ya wonsu hunu nsem no. Wadwenkyere ewo ho. Na yenkenkan ni nyinada. Na missing containers yasemi. Aye bibi owo ho. Doreen Emilia, thanks for joining us. Yamuakwaba and wabei niente won come more. Na comment on the issues. Chira wadwene. Seth Opoku Tham, unswa joining in from Suhum. Osibibi, good afternoon, watching you live from Suhum. It's been a long time hearing from you. Talking about single-use rubber. What has happened? Minia, single-use plastic as some nebedi hun komo, but I have realized they say the strategy of advocacy. Muntie, in fact. So we are coming up with a new approach. Yedibedi single-use plastic hun komo. It's just a new approach, would make more impact than send ye. Because for some years now, and I'm a fatum and also say, near single-use plastic a month in so no. I was see a ye humbribi. Near betimi metimi ayene say, mene Ghana for because wakasa ni metu omu for say there are alternatives to single-use plastic. Na we don't necessarily need them. So we planning here. Unkom kotoko kongu rubber mu. Emi enchichire mawo. Se o planning wo life here. Unkom yenkote banku hyehyehye ngu rubber mu nchichire fa ma se brabedi. Na we are rubber na dane baller. There is always an alternative to single-use plastic. I've been doing this for some time. But I believe baby ayedro no. And it's you better review the strategy. Now yasesa the approach. Now you say the new approach ayedeba ebe make a much bigger impact than we have done now. Inti tamukuchu enche you will see the new approach to single-use plastic in Komoi. Can you hear mame? Now once you betimi ayafa ho ne ye. I mean environment ni an yetim. Rubber ni an ye yusu. And a black polythene bag aji babia. Pure water rubber aji babia. Disposable cups bubruja. Bottles in there tan. And then insuo toa rubber wuhu ewo yen gutters na street so. Areho obaka say the rubber na ye kwan no. Rubber ya ye adani nuisance ama yen India omo de ye asphalt. You don't know. Ministry of Environment omani mo pavement na ewo ho ni nyina e plastic concrete e na anam so no. But we have refused to be thinkers. Enti ade a anke betimi aye a resource aye betimi dey other things. Edi enya ese environment no e choki and gutters. Eku enamo a ewo pumu. Ayamwa nso enam asase ani nantwie mbonche ne nkrama nyina nso so rubber yi bi ku omo. I have shown you the evidence. Enti so obeya kebeboa se fi na ekọ akoto ade a fa chancing koto aduane a fa chancing free fie kọ. Wo adwuma mu a pel bowl a da bia de be kọ lunch Joyce muntie rubber bag na adọọso. Enen ye mokoto ye rubber mu neguo na mo de baaye. Munyai moye beautiful ladies munto bowl ento office na mo de akoto lunch. Koko hyehyehye na mokọ amukogina ne akyekire gu rubber mu amamo no. Mo ba ma be hwie gu flask mu. Na de no afa flask na nkwa nkoto kuko no mum. Yesere mo. Fi na ekọ Joyce ukodwo mu a fa wo basket kọ. Ana o reusable bag fa kọ. Enkoje rubber. Tomatoes no mo mfa a newspaper nchichire ma wo. Enam no mo mfa newspaper nchichire ma wo. Jane ne the newspaper chichire ye cement paper create mi ne chichire. Yansua ne free e ma me no mo ho. Omo tete no mo kodwo mu a Jimai ma akai ana de ye Gen Z for no ma hunu bi. Ya ma me no mo kodwo mu a no mo kro mo basket na napkin edam. Odi dwane wi a wode ne napkin akata so kama. Ofa rubber ba kokura mafie. Enso enensa pan ni akogina dwom. Pin kura na ato ane de ahye take away mu. When you ofan hye mu kura no abebusa. Na wo ma me take away. A tin of milk akoto ye wo ji take away. Eti yanyama ye ho na ye reduce plastics na age environment no afa no. Ekuyen. We call on the Ministry of Environment, the EPA. Omunyina nkambom ne empa biribi nyamfa single-use plastic ho na meneyen. Mame nkobanim na menkenkan wo messages no. Potassium 1 intimedical da Seth Opoku Thamase. What they we about badminton chechemu no so ama. Potassium 1 say good afternoon BB. Please, I was watching parliamentary proceedings live, but I don't want to miss your show too. In fact, I have to come and monitor #Epahwadaben as well, just because I am highly addicted to this show. Wow, thank you. We're a positive addiction. Also, BB, parliamentary proceedings are ongoing smoothly because Honorable Afenyomakin is absent. Interesting. My regards to Honorable Rita Awate, Eastern Regional Minister Honorable Dr. Albert Tenyakote, MP for Yilo Krobo constituency, and Honorable Francis Adro Akumate, MCE Yilo Krobo. Seth Antubam live ewo Malam or say ni AKA breastfeeding. Wontumi should keep quiet and suffer. President Mahama, don't forget that you and your party branch executives in Wejagbawi constituency, say President Mahama, don't forget the party's branch executives in Wejagbawi constituency are waiting for our national cake. And yeah, also kasa huna one kasa huna we ni betina cake nasa na yese this 4 years time so and I'll be near. Alexander Kobe Bryan, thanks for joining us. Michael Blagaji, say good afternoon, BB. I hope Mahama is doing the Ghana job better, the Ghana job well. Okay, say I hope John Mahama is doing Ghana well, better be better. I say more to watch your brand up into me, but I'm in Kaima. Why? Or say send my greetings to my brother Sefa Joe. So Daniel Edu said, good evening, BB. Watching you live inside Doha in Qatar. Honestly, BB, I don't understand why the suspended Chief Justice is behaving as if the CJ's position is a family inheritance. She's behaving as if without her, no one else can run that position. Danny, there is something called image and reputation. Money can't buy that. Sometimes se obi di asem to so na unim se enye no kra a enye da nyina na oye se nyame be kire mrepamu no kra ne bedadi enye nsem nyina na ye mu mane ka to da bi a wo se okasa ho kire won so opposition wa asem no ho. And I think say it is within her right to challenge the process and raise concerns. Nti yenya no ho abotre. It's all part of the democracy. Gabriel K. Akotia said, good afternoon, BB. As usual, I am doing the listening via radio. Let's get into the conversation. Hashtag Pahua Dabeng. Emmanuel Emma Wule, thanks for joining us. Also, greetings to Simple Man and Timothy Kakari, my boss. Na Otuaso say, Uhe in live, United States of Kiseman, and Ochia me, and I feel so say, so. The CJ doesn't know she's a goner. Well, she wants to put up a fight and make a point. Suleiman Kwenu, wabomidin premiensa. Now also how they saying. I say, please, it is better you call the right person from the Ministry of Energy to know the facts rather than you being Masa unye ready to bonetro a 700 fabra. Now you being in windows me I say just saying. Suleiman Kwenu, I haven't even spoken about this matter. I'm coming there. Intro na me hear you. Na what's the menu being Kasan Free Ministry of Energy? Pacho, assembly me babe can be based on what the PRO of the Ministry of Energy has said. The Public Relations Officer, Ministry of Energy, Akasa. Ono no ama who say an audit has been done on the containers. Ono no ama who the findings of the audit. So I will speak to the information wadiama. Say enye sufficient for you are. I'm sure you know the energy ministry. Lord Nete said, good day. You are live in Koforidia. Lord, thank you. I say these days the youth are getting wiser because the politicians cannot hide behind parties and destroy our country. The man who to me took Cocoa Road's contract and refused to work, but today calling citizens to come to his rescue. We are not there, Kaho. I say sorry. Well, any evidence, Bia? I don't have any evidence except Chema won't to me a Cocoa Road contract and a wine yet. I have no evidence to back that. Joy Shinaya say good afternoon, BB Joy. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Medamunyina ase mo ama joining ewo ye live stream yi eso. Oba de nyankopon onka mo ho no nhira mo na mo fo mo no ntunkomo ni mu bi na ye ni nkomo no enko nanimo. Na ma observe ade bi.
Epa ho adaben.
Memfe we nka.
ho adabe nti si no pi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
I have observed and realized, say, appointees ni bi a wa ban we mu prefer to use Facebook, X, and a social media for official government communication. Na sadia no, I was say chief of staff for Tiemia or when ye. Many mask in the early days of this administration had cause to complain about presidential spokesperson Felix Kwachofosu using Facebook to communicate official Jubilee House positions, and you raise issues wey ma NDC foni bebre etwen abo so ante omho ase. Enei ebia sense biem. This time around, not Kwachofosu or the Jubilee House, but the Foreign Affairs Ministry. I have been wondering why such an important decision Abanya take. Foreign Affairs Minister, I prefer say or the two Facebooker and one no. I mean, we are talking about Ghana's embassy at Washington, D.C. Yes, countries close missions down every now and then. But the very first time in Ghana, you closely down an embassy because of corruption. First time in here, I stand to be corrected. ABS Payamon Kaime. But me many fear under the Fourth Republic here. First time I made here say a baby closely down an embassy because of Ketasishe, Proye, any chrono, any. Now, ye now so to say closing down an embassy under these circumstances, no. There were implications bebree ma or minor. So, Adentina Foreign Affairs Minister limited the official communication of Sadia way to unknown personal Facebook page for such a major and important decision. I was hoping, sir, this would have come on the official letterhead of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, signed by the minister. Sa practice na appointees yedi adwuma hye wo nsa omadane wo mo amane ebo no nyina social media no omo hwebribi ye, because you see oko social media sisi ana ko minister no ni post na se a enema ekoso wo ho no enya nika. What is so wrong? Say sadie we wo de beto an official Ministry of Foreign Affairs letterhead so. Na minister formally o signature shasiye. And we are talking about diplomacy. We are not doing party communication here. Yeah, we campaign. Yeah, we election. We are memuo. Yeah, boomai no. Sana campaign mood no Facebook ne man semne kontemo mamwa. And name wa ba mu amubu o man ye besre. Because sometimes uko hunu post bia eya busa ho se eye fake ana enye fake, because it is only existing on an appointee's page without any official insignia bia of bibia ni hono a e communicating say we eye aban official position, apart from the fact say wo hunu appointee be post or appointee be page. Mashase ye esremo muma adwuma no ho nte Moma adwuma no ho nte. You don't close down an embassy because of corruption and just come and post it on social media and it is good. Say, what try to win no ano no yate. There be. It must be issued properly. It must be issued properly. You have so many appointees making in very, very important announcements on Facebook pages no more dey. Organization now wo mudi animu no organization no our official letterheads we betimi dey issue statements e be carry weight. In the era of misinformation and disinformation, it is important to say government communication no omo be in such a way say obi a wo pese oye deliberate misinformation or disinformation enya no ho totroto saa say official statement da bontene and a Facebook post nso ka ho a ema obi a hunu say ade ne authentic. So be read the original authentic messenger enya yira kwan. Yebesre sa Facebook social media announcement na moye no munyai. Oye minister ana woda oye CEO woda agency bia no a. Your Facebook page is your personal page. It is not the page of the institution you are leading. Institution issue statement obetimi di bia koto page. But when you use personal page and find yet the initial official communication, are you wrong? Are you wrong? Are you wrong? And the chief of staff, it's a growing practice. Appointees ni bebre. I know social media takes it far and fast. But if you want to use social media to communicate it, first have it on your official letterhead and sign. You say it is officially sanctioned. Now, what they say, official statement, you know, opa, now what they are called to page. And no make sense. Then say, muko meeting, mu take a decision, you know. Now, who sense we need the head of the institution, you know. Oba, who personal page, no one control the tour. Today, in a deliberation, the ministry, this, now, you think you are officially communicating on your personal page? No. Esremu adabraka monye governance no na ehonte mashase yie monhwe na monhwe ni yie ebi mu kra twra omusanti ebi mu ye mistakes nkakra because nobody is proof reading. Minister na otena the play mu anaso otene ka mu e na wo type no wo twro de ato ho. Meanwhile, ministries ni departments ni agencies ni na abokafa public relations experts Roma said yen say omo na nkomo be draft such statements. Omo na eyo ma said ye say sane ma no omo be twro na omo ye proofreading. I make sure say mfunso bi any statement ni mu. Enti we appointee now you want to avoid such pitfalls and patron make use of your PROs. Make use of them because they are trained to write statements. They are trained to issue press statements. They are trained to respond to the public. Mumu bi mu kra no mu temperament nye. Enti se mu interface with the public kra mo ma aban no kra ho ye hi. Enti professionals na ya fa wo mo no mu nya adwuma no. It would have been better, more official to have had some communication way on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs letterhead than just having it on the minister's personal page. I think said that distinction ought to be there. Government officials must distinguish between omo personal pages and official communication. Eto da bi kura ade no bekwa ko hu appointee ni page na institution no ni official page bekwa na communication ni ho. I think it is wrong, and we need to pay attention to some of these little things. Ecclesiastes can send you or say, take us the little foxes. And we cry the songs of Solomon. Or say, take us the little foxes, for we destroy the vine. And nieman kitin bina. Yeah, it creates big problems. So pay attention to the little foxes. Now they will destroy the vine. Now, hey, containers ni yehu bio.
Epa ho adaben.
Yehu containers ni bi. Ane yehu no so ase emma no bi sa o. Anyway, so we have been told by the public relations officer Emma the Energy Ministry said omo ye audit and ye nyina ye nim the background of this matter. Na ye hear about 1,300 missing ECG containers. Na ye hear ye nim ba bi akopie. Echire kohun bi wo India bi ho, India ni bi ho ne kohun bi wo se China fo bi susu to bi ne ho kro ne ba bebre. Ana minister said the kind of conflicting figures are onya no. Onti ase, ntia ne ade no moma ye hwehwe mu yenye a thorough investigation. Na ye hu the actual numbers involved. Ne ntimi mbo Ghana fo amane. Esane se minister ne ba ye di kan ka che ne se ECG wo be 3,000 containers wo port ho. Echire na ma no esesa ye about 2,000 plus. When a minister ne say, dear Ekosu dear, let's launch an audit. Ne hwe ne ekoso pa. Na mencha de audit no aba na wie. Now, according to the PRO of the Ministry of Energy, total number of containers are almost recover after the audit. 2,637. Nemo no omo betimi a confirm say 2,583 containers ewo port authorities for nsem patro timiye, especially Suleiman Kwenu timiye pa. Containers no dodo a omo etimi a recover nyina 2,637. Out of the 2,637 a omo recover no, they can confirm say 2,583 are in the possession of port authorities. Intisemeti 2,583 no every 2,637 ni mu a, at least yebetimi akase about 54 containers can't be accounted for. Cause omo ye audit ni nyina awie ye. Containers dodo a omo recover 2,637. Emu 2,583 ewo port for no ho. Inti there is a difference of 54. But in March, we were made to understand say 1,300 containers ena aira. In fact, as at 27th March, we any asemwa minister no edituja. As at 27th March, na yewe 1,300 containers. Out of 1,300 containers, no, yamayeti asese omakohu emu 40. Ewo India ni bi ho. enti say wote 1,300 wote 40 feet 1,300 nimu a na at the time way back in March so we 40 containers no mko hu India ni ho a every 1,300 nimu a na aka 1,260 containers but again e ba ya enei yehunu ya recover 2,637 containers. Sa containers ni nyina no omo recover free he. Containers no omo kohunu ni he, omo kosese free he. Audit no omo ye no ehe no omo kohunu se containers ni bi gugu baabi na ya recover ni nyina na ni nyina akopem 2,637. Ebusuafo ne ewo mu ni se team na eye audit no omo extensive work. In fact, na eye an interagency team. Meka interagency a me pa kire se eye enwuma kuo ahodo a containers ne clearing ene ehu adwuma efa wo mo ho enti in the committee of auditors no na customs wom na port officials ewom na GRA ewom bi na wo mu hunu se containers no na nyeni nyina na ayira o. The containers were scattered. Ebi awo different terminals aye keep containers wo ho. And the PRO helps us by giving us those details and telling us say baby a wo mu kohunu some of these containers. Nebi wo Meridian Terminal. Gapo hafo na nkasa terminal so nebi wo ho. There were close to 5 different terminals ECG containers na omachichemu a egugugugu ho. Enti omo kan ni nyina bo mu no. Omunya that staggering figure of over 2,000, and I'm talking about 2,637. Bibusa se so yebetimi akase na containers 1,300 na ayira na after nye yehunu so far would the Minister of Energy insist that a whopping 1,300 containers na ayira and NA with the benefit of this audit report, Minister no ebe revise the position and stance on the missing containers no ehun asem no. Will it change? And I say we will get better and further particulars to back the claim say 1,300 plus containers have gone missing. Now, what do we need to form one who say? Since our audit report a year ready, no, the ministry is not really trumpeting the fact to say containers are missing. Containers are missing. And they almost say the containers have been recovered. 2,637 have been recovered. Recovered from where? Na moko ya boko recover ya no. One more na containers no wo mo ho no. Dia na maye wo mo. Dia na maye wo no mo. Are we sure that the containers were really missing or the ministry didn't know where they were? Because honestly, near ye ni baby a omo recover containers say baby a omo so mo recover containers here anything to go by there. Then you bet me aka say indeed the containers were not missing. If you found some of the containers at Meridian Terminal, mukohunu containers ni bi wo other terminals within the port enclave. Sa terminals a mukohunu wo ho ni nyina ne officially sanctioned terminals a omo hosti ana equipu containers. So granted, what the mamin grant say o ampa containers ayra. Ne ya ko recover ne yakohunu we he. Na ya ye wonu mu a na ewo mu ho ne dien. Eyampa se wo bi wia containers na. Na so wo bi wia containers 1003 na. Edien ne edi aye wo mu. Ewie mi se busa se. The minister told us say omo kohunu 40 of the missing containers. Ewo India ni bi ho. Na ewie mi busa, it is not just an Indian omo kohunu bi won ho. Omo kohunu bi nso ewo China fo bi ho. He made us understand. Emma obo national security for na baso pa se omo ye adwumadene 27th March na ye Thursday. Ena Minister John Jinapode sa asem ne bae na me continue say the briefing I got this morning, and let me commend the national security operatives and the law enforcement agencies. The information I got is that already they have traced about 40 of them to a particular warehouse in Pong, which belongs to an Indian man. And they have confiscated all the 40 containers and moved them to a secure location. Sena yesi sa containers na yira na kopie India ni bi ho a. I want to believe say by now the Indian has been dealt with and now you are charging for say all tokro no there. The minister went ahead to also say, and I quote, or said there are also reports of some other areas where they are picking intelligence. They will trace and retrieve all of them and fish out the perpetrators before a court of competent jurisdiction. Ewie mibusa Honorable Dr. John Jenapo. Say those perpetrators na ewia containers na enema kwakọ recover no. Modiomo ekogina court na. First of all, mwetimi have you arrested one more na sa containers yi ewo wo mo ho? Na mo arrest wo mo a omododo ye sen wo mo ye hwan no mo be kan say India ni bi ho ye nim India ni din. The warehouse ana de ni gu ye nim warehouse ni din ye ni ane say warehouse bi opom. The other time so ye say China fo bi e wo container ni bia cables a ye nyusu ye wom. China fo no ye nim omo dodo ye nim omo din. And the last time Attorney General ebe briefu Ghana man e kire Ghana man cases ahodo a oye ho adwuma a wode court ana oye upbeat. Say cases in obewini. Indeed, almost indicating say one more what you court deny guilty, and of course the prosecution would always assume say in the case you're right. So there is nothing wrong for him to say Ojidi says uncle fire bonnet enti eyade a o mine be secure conviction. There is nothing wrong with that. but yanti say India for no ni China for na yekohu ECG containers wo mo ho no wo mo ka the list of nkrofo a Attorney General ready so obe prosecute wo mo yenti ho asem besi ne. It's been February, March, April, and May is almost gone. And then 27th May. Yenti bebia se sa kofo ye to ECG containers ye ankofo wi aye. Ye do mu kogina court. Empo ya chi wo mpo. So I ask, mode figures abetu dwa na anye bia wono mu a omoma ade we siye no machi wo mu mabo mu kwadu edien na mode aye wo mu ena mesambu sase entimo ya audit ni wieye no. How many containers are missing? Before the audit, most 1,300 containers were missing. After the audit, I recovered 2,635 containers. Mubetimia confirm say out of the 2,637 recovered containers, 2,583 were port authorities for her. Difference no ewe he 54 containers difference no and no the status the same. Are they missing or they are yet to be recovered? How many containers remain missing as we speak? It obviously can't be the 1,003 we were told in March because of the latest figures. Now, per the audit, only 54 containers can be accounted for. Cannot, I should say, be accounted for, and not 1,300 as earlier communicated. Per information abetojano. Now it's a 54 there yintimi ehunu because you recover 2,635 out of it, 2,500 plus there. You need baby a war. Ni akano ewe he. Na misansu busa say sa 2,637 containers aya recover no 40 containers na yakwaji wo India ni ho no eka ho ana. Who is that Indian impo? Na when a ton containers ne ma sa Indian ni no ewe mi gina sansam ya mi busa iso aka kire honorable John Ginapo say you will do the people of Ghana a lot of good if you publish the findings of the audit. Audit report on the Yabesre Minister of Energy and Green Transition. Publish the audit report. Na yenina yeti mani muno sebe ye kan yeti ase ye de baako ene baako kan ho ayehunu sebe ye mienu. Na yan susu yantena sibie na yenhwe because emu owrem se containers betimi anya ntaban etu batasa ayira emu owrem. We need the audit report published. More publish audit reports now. We can have a meaningful engagement with the sector ministry. Na who follow ups yabusa. But initially, these are some of the concerns and issues mimi hunu ewo reporter PRO of the energy ministry come somebody chere ensem for. And in order to avoid any assumptions, any misinformation and disinformation, Minister of Energy, wobɛboa yɛn paa by making public the findings of the audit you caused to be done regarding some missing containers.
Ho adabe nti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
I'll take a break at this moment.
Happy FM 98.9.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
Oh, Charlie, me wanna mean I am here. My person, my person. Says me be and koye. Oh,
and yes, so Yom Herbal Lotion. Deals Generations Enterprise in Ediaba.
and tiene woman. I'm on the bridge, my pa.
What do you have by one? What didn't draw? A kunipedium yaw crack na ye dream. Say and two nam yaw. Anyone possible yari biase. What do you understand? Be shake a cregoons. Now we get to Hunameni. Anyone possible baby a yawa. Now Monomoa, who but Joe, I'm more young nako. Now what you say from? Did I they want to want some cry?
Wow, we just send it some.
And ye just have keko. As a sabrabon suma was sitting on koyi. A brow bow de wu at for floor.
Na many be at over here.
So open do it too. And now open so to be tongue. And now open contract sale dear. And your friend 024-473-0295 and 030-295-4146. And face will be nebiato and pharmacies near herbal shops. Yom Herbal Lotion. Life is possible. Edroy Yam mapping for FD at your getting gratuity at
anamontuo bi a wotuye no wo de kyerɛ me kwan so na mpo wo akonya so obɛkɔ nanso wo tena ase emaame enije ne sere a wo de maame no wo de maame bre a na mehia ne kɛse papa ye hero me papa ma ho odene so wo papa ye papa kora ɔno nko na hwɛ wo ana sɛ wo papa bi ɛwɔ abrabɔ mu a wɔdom wo ɛboa wo gyinaye sɛ wo papa ye hero kyerɛ ye die ntia your voice note fafa 0538 591 314 na kyerɛ yɛn ene Ghana fo nyina die ntia o papa ɛyɛ wo hero kayo sɛ da bia die nasɛm bɛdi mu a Ghana fo bɛgye atomu no ye wa kyɛde a na wɔtwe na wieye saa onya kro no ɛbɛtumi anya
bi fafa yɛ hero esanse
wei ɛyɛ omre so betumi ato saa asɛm yi so Happy FM's Papa Ye Hero, celebrating extraordinary fathers this Father's Day.
To stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Watch it spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch it spread, it's still on point. For your bread, it's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast. It's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread. Delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Big goal. Big goal. Big goal.
Number one everywhere you go. Big goal. For the friends and the family. Big goal. Big refreshing moment. Big goal. For the kids and the adults. Big goal. Boys and girls with a drink up. Big goal. Everywhere the party day. Big goal. We go mash up the place refreshing moment.
Big old drink. Big refreshing moment. Another quality product from Trillium Industries. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, na Dua Herbal Clinic. Sa wasa yare easily sa.
Dua Herbal Clinic. Na aven wati wo monka. Wonema ni yare, sunsumu yare. Yare kwankro. Ya wo sa no ho no. Yesi bi ni.
Mekuma yare na ye kwankro. Ana bi mu kra de ahye beyie. Oduru ho a doctor ne de ahaban gu ni komu a munum ho ara hwem ya wanya na yare sa.
Chese instant healing.
Mesiwo.
Ayare sa wo ba bi o.
Dua Herbal Clinic.
Wo yare no. Doctor Ohinebo Fori e de fasoro na ansa wo de befa fom. Chese ekwan bia so yare ntimi nwane emfiri nanim.
Dua Herbal Clinic.
E bayal samuan wa ben seja wa ben wo hye. Kuma se wa brepo Broni Krum Freho 0248 427 998 and Akaswa Breku 0246 35 47 47.
Akrobato me kamfo dua asudua heba center wa ohia bi abra ekoyie. Papa no no papa no no papa no no papa no 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 papa no no ankasa. Polita is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytank we did Papa no no papa no 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 papa no no papa no 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 papa no no ankasa. Polytank,
the original, always the best.
Charlie, Happy FM, Salafest Fever, Afa Zongo, Ahudrawo, and Crown Credium, and the Ghana Fanana. Mokai de Corso, Ewo Castle, Ewo Bride, Yakansiano, Yedica Crash Sheso, Ayesha, Gift Vioto, Adrian, the packaging, and Diano. Why not this one? Or didn't success story ever?
I was contacted by a strange line, I don't know the person, and the person just asked that, say, who contested was Salafest, and I'm saying, I know I can't see our contract, mommy, our foreigners from Fiji. Will I take the contract for 6 months? And I'm saying, why not? They take the contract. And they are coming back again next month.
Happy FM Salafest. Your next stop, Nima Zongo, Junda Tosu Edumieno. Bra, number one, and Sir for Fra, for sorry, ever Diani Nomu. Obrone Bekase, incredible flavors, amazing talent, spectacular prizes. Jumadina Quantuno, Egusua Ekoso, Nanepon Ponsoni Mitre Grand Finale, Ebevia 28th of June, 2025. Our the forecourt of Chief Imam's residence at Wafadama. Happy FM Salah Food Fest. Everybody go chop. Obia Bedidi. Happy FM. Nimdie Happy FM. Any Jenkwa.
Ho da benti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Na no Dr. Baumia eka sembi na mpese meji wadwen kire wo se wahunu se oman we a first time candidate and as a new candidate on time winning an election, and definitely NDC for be a new candidate, but ono has been marketed before. Sir Dr. Brian Champon esi jinayesi wo be contest ya na MPP ekoyina na chese moyi a new candidate. When ne ya adwene se we heard the Fourth Republic na ya na obi a wo ba first time obi a ntimi wini presidency, and therefore say MPP koyi obi foforo apart from obi ama marketing na be kwatia mo.
Yura Royce ya be to obama no na onye president dawo esetuma
sa time no okay mpacho meet you pa
Yura Mahama so o be president na onye president da so nye to obama no president da esetuma if sa concept say obi anyi bi dan de ene mo nyaji nemo se wo be jina baby say me ma compre no tie to obama me ene campaign eno na party very no e ka se say ibre nye no ho no enti say obi bo ebebu party no nchise ene mra so a ene na de eke ni buso Every person, Tiny deal with it as to buy via make me a boy make a bumaba. It is for who brought over for you. Not and only the campaign. Now, what can you talk about because a market you want to get? I know they compare some car. Once so, and a manica actually say, you are Mahama. The first time, no, by the president. When the president, not Obama, as president, was the first time candidate as a presidential candidate. That year, I wrote it also 1992, was the first time candidate as a presidential candidate.
Ɛfa ho adabɛnti sinupi na nokorɛ ɛyɛ baako pɛ.
98.9 FM, welcome back. Pahwa da ben Jumedie enie na yeni nkomo kakra mfa saa ECG missing containers ene ɛho audit reporter ababeto edwa na opening ba ko a asemi baaye yekɔ ne nanso ekɔsrɛ na dwenkyerɛ ene sɛ de ohunu no wadwen ne me na awie sɛ ne da yeni ne di nkomo fa nsɛm yi ho. Benjamin Nsia executive director ma Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy etwanitia no semse na otisansem yase kakra wadi akiri nso pa. Let's pick his thoughts on the latest development regarding 2,637 ECG containers retrieved as a result of the audit course. So Mr. Nsiatime ka happy FM sunimwa
ya bini ya bibi
na ewie boko de
boko because me near bibi nko na timi bomb organization di mama nije that's it.
Esu ni o mo ye ninya o
no correct
sa what will some of the reportage ni news reports fasa containers the latest PRO of the Energy Ministry Abetuja as to the number we have recovered and where we found them?
I think that Ministry of Energy and Green Transition was almost to Omoboase say Omobeka container Ihuasem. Nekasa because so we the historical normal release the ever container Ihoni the nearby there are a lot of inconsistencies with respect to this whole missing container saga. Memo history nekakra. During transition, abai maeti asese abai dadano eja container no 3,000 and at the moment. That is based on ECG handing over notes. Abai fufrono say okoho in January. Eko here say verify the 3,000 containers. Odru hono na containers no enru 3,000. Naka 2,500. The 2,500 na akano. And na banka say no. Say you magic 3,000. Now be who 2,500 yet. I was say me ye who shishimu. Unfortunately for Abino, instead of say obema terms of reference no, I cover the 3,000 no. Terms of reference on modema Professor Akwa Committee no, 2,500. It is still now no. There's a shortfall of 500. If you share you. Now, Professor Akwa Committee no, and so early in the mandate and any activities that was all here. Major activities be beside or aside say for procurement issues no. The number of containers at airport and you see report no MIT as say Minister Kase containers near 2,500 no containers near or no core port no or more head count no containers no are short by over 1,300. The Minister Kase no and yet no now ne Osha report in Muzo my says by December 2024, na containers around 2,491. So if our memory is serving us right, na say ministry transition nature say container near 3,000. Not investigative committee report say by December, na containers near 2,491. Not there's figure inconsistency, and we need to reconcile these figures and know where the remaining containers are. Yeah, dreaming, yes, I'm between now. minister in the office, and as the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, or communication director, Mayati said, containers are not say as at December 2024, no, a year 2,491, no, ne containers, no, Yahoo Amana Broso to Amana could do 2,600 plus. So Sasig a year to Abontino, and my beside and say, what is happening? Why are we having inconsistent data with respect to these containers? Now, may ministry no suppose via or more and some form of due diligence and reconciling these missing containers and their figures. No, I think that you know Professor Aqua Committee, so and I said we have to blame them. I will say blame them because we think that they did not do an effective work. We think that they failed in the state, and we also think that they did a shoddy work. Because one, say, yeah, in terms of reference credit amount, 2,500. Port no, terminals no doors. In the terminals no so doors no, I was say we stakeholder mapping because you need to engage certain institutions that contain a CBT form. But if you almost stakeholder mapping, that they engage a single entity, which is the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, or one engaging national security. They didn't even engage Customs Division of the GRA. They didn't engage Ghana Standard Authority. They didn't engage other auxiliary institutions or more ports. So stakeholder-wise, no, one engaging, come engage here, and got this issue of missing containers, and at least, and some of these stakeholders would have informed them that containers may be or other terminals.
The initial committee and take that approach.
Yes, take that approach, right? And can because the amount of containers, head count, port no terminals no doors, yards no doors, your private yards and your public yards, port. They say, oh, yes, you can find it be was so engaging the various stakeholders, not bit more the information here to resolve the mystery I see for resolving. But you went there and did a shoddy work. You failed the state by bringing out a shoddy report. A shoddy report, no, it lead you to certain miscalculation, certain miscommunication, certain misrepresentation in the media. They say, what's the asset December 2024? Momoye head count, no, and as a data. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Mamono. Now, 2,491 containers in the whole asset December 2024. Maybe if you catch and say containers they are finding in Yano, 2,600 plus.
Yeah.
So it means that report to that transition team no hand it over to the ministry a bit to my no credit. And that also means that near Menoka say no more than 400 containers are still missing that we need to find. Right? Because the committee feels that in terms of proper work done at the port, and no more report no who said containers are missing. So net I say more than 1,300 plus and then total no I extended to 2,600 plus. It means that the report was a scheduled report. That is one. Now the second part is that we Minister Peso and after the ministry rather, because that's the communication from the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. On Peso and said containers now of various ports. Now question is say the equity free China for the SCH India for the SCH who Kumasi, the SCH who Cape Coast, the who Tapradi, are they also part of these containers who are terminals, all these terminals and all these as they can once again. So any part, then it means the figure the minister is giving us as of now is more than the containers you are talking about. And the original figure was 3,000 containers. So the minister should be able to find all these 3,000 containers and tell us where they are located, because containers cannot fly. And for us to have a sustainable power sector, we need to be very transparent, very honest in terms of information I demand the public. And we say you communicate consistency because it builds trust. for us to leave anything that you want to do for the power sector to make it a very reliable and stable sector or debt-free sector. But say information everywhere, data everywhere, inconsistent. Committees established almost so it means I think that some of these things must change head on.
And as you make the point, the first committee, a shoddy job because involved the stakeholders, it appears that this new committee, Minister Nete, learned from those mistakes into the very audit who report Abano. This time around, it was a special committee comprising representatives from the National Security, the Ministry of Transport, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and a Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. And as a result of such collaboration, and they 860 of the containers were Meridian Port Services. 1,237 were GPHA terminals. 272 272 were already evacuated by National Security. 194 na ewo Amaris Terminal. And 20 na ewo Atlas Manufacturing Terminal. To the extent that these are approved terminals are omuhodi containers, can we still say and label containers missing?
Yes, I think that some of the containers are still missing, and we need to find them because transition in my say 3,000. Latest reports in my say Yahoo 2,600 plus.
Yeah,
it means that we still have about almost 400 missing, and we need to find them. They are still missing containers.
My question is premised on the fact that 1,300 containers near Kaseɛbɔ.
Yeah.
And they may sure send number no so better because we have found a good number of these containers in different terminals.
Yes, I don't know. I know you are agreeing say no DNA. You better say Yahoo. But beyond no, and I make say previous committee shoddy work or my work very elaborate. And the MIA challenge in terms of communicating, and they also misled the minister. But current committee, which comprise state institutions, which ought to have been even instructed earlier to conduct this particular investigation. Say containers Yahoo. But no na who say Yahoo abe your idea. But I got almost 400 a year. And there was a because transition in my say 3,000 handy over. Minister also catch and say OJ 3,000. Next latest report who say we have more than 2,600 compared to earlier report of about 2,491 or even less than that.
Yeah.
Which is minus the 1 year Irano.
Yeah.
So it means that and the minister must come and tell us where these almost 400 containers because they are public assets and Minano MIECG Boka affecting free the end user.
And to think of the fact that as we speak, India ni say 40 containers one hono yenim ni dini yenim say ya prosecuting in Tamale we were told say omuko hunu bi nsusu ho and some other Chinese for ayo one say besi na yenhu prosecution bi na at least say yen prosecute omukra na we should be able to establish the pakura or ton containers in the ma wo anamebwa
na minia bibi. Based on this latest report here, containers in the ACD, the 1,300 plus LEIC IRA. Would you to say container Biira? I mean, I would you to say 1,300 containers na can want and the war Chinese, Indians, other state actors, and other private actors. I don't think so. I think some of these things were just simulated. Orchestrated to sway the public mindset from some of these inconsistent data presentation or information about the Mayan. And in a better AG, a prosecutor, we should have acted some of these things so that because Yahoo and I say you are trying to find these containers because the latest report here can ancounto India ni anka ho, ancounto private yas anka ho, ancounto private storage houses and warehouses anka ho. Account to only warehouses and as a terminals and as a yas airport either private or public yas. You know, or more yen kase or more earlier ni no. I think the national security just wanted to do something to sway our attention and then let us know say or more try some more finding these containers because yes sir, this recent report would have accounted for the irony no and initiatives are buying a take care obeji the akana free or more we have been ho. But I still believe that beyond the 1,300 they say irano, there are 400 they was a because the containers are 3,000 and not 2,600.
Additionally, Minister no ama subsequent directives to ECG FAWOMO procurement ho or say henceforth ECG procurement ombe nyina omo make sure say supplier na clear niema ni nyina be deliver and it shouldn't be ECG doing that. A best solve problem here now.
It depends. I think that mostly we try very hard to lay out policies, instructions, but compliance with these instructions, are very problematic. Practical implementation of it becomes very problematic. I think that UTA, Honorable Afenyo Markin as a board chair of ECG, or no ECG, will raise a lot of issues with respect to some of these procurements. But we are because of the kind of politics we do in Ghana and also the political interference in some of these state entities. And minister wakanasem, but mrede no any who say the wakano ECG the Bay Juma and also on Fanya Juma. So the Juma a boy ECG na. So on Fanya Juma, I think the minister must be bold enough and the government must be bold enough to sanction anybody call contrary to policies and also instructions are Minister of Energy and Green Transition and they are to acquire.
Ben, meda wase ene enwumre ne obra wanya wo ye ho emrepam ye besan ba ho biem. Benjamin Insia ena ote no enka no mabedwafo atena se ene nkomo no ebe hyehyɛ so Alhaji Bodinga former MC Emma Ebuakwa North Municipal Assembly under Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. Next to Alhaji Bodinga Jerry Owusu ono church for penny General Secretary Emma the me body now smiling her name sir Emma the Liberal Party sa oba memuna udi yo dedodo me mo now smiling me bohoka me bohoka ba so did hunti me no didi o I am a vice president and I am a minister and I say yeah me didi da ben I know the young pa they no ebe so because a pa ho da ben Koku Mawuli Nanegbe a member of the NDC communications team. He's also seated. Amenovi leke
mafo leke phone
Mauta
that's
right. Se subo trinko na be pem microphone.
Se mete dia mo kan.
Yes then.
Se mo din samrane ena me ho ye na so ho ye na. Nanim se mikro mbe agbana.
Ampo.
Me ma me fa kofi.
Oh sir.
Yeah.
Ampa. Cross the bridge na na say.
Mete agbe fofinfin.
And I want it.
Mete pa. Na yete IPP no.
Yeah.
Who's a coffee ente aigbe. Inti me na na e translate. E ma na te dia omo ka.
Me fa hu dwane o.
Ye ko peke ye fa forms I dey go rounds at IPP then.
Okay. So you needed an announcement from
every
constituency
district.
o na na chire mu
me na me chire ayigbeni
I see ene ma be sua ne aka no wo
bomode a
ma be sua ne aka no wo na me so bi ye bi pa na so ja me deficient o kasa no mu kakra
why say Kofi Apaluna
me ye better chen ono
on the yes
me ye chen Kofi
de no
me ye chen Kofi Apalo no atoto are
ono tikra wantina unse obi a ote Ashtown there
me so mantina ho
da bi Ashtown no why na ne an ko kan igba na force ne ma men so ye Asantini okay into no ne problem na ne nuanom no a omo nyina nyire wo Ashtown but na bi mo maame
amafo
Ghana okay amafo but
because ni agbefo
ni agbefo Ghana na ono na ne maame ya Asantini no why na ne kwa go papa ne madoso
yeah okay me so no na be me problem me be kwotena me na nchen kakra wo apegusu we realize wana me na namu settle ye
oh dey so amu dos
nti
angunafo no dos
omo dominate say ye she yan kra na ye ka ye kru no ye abehye omo fi because I free say Atimpoku na oba I from Atimpoku na kra na before now na o aba beto akwamfie kakra bi na me fansa akosomo no na akosomo ne kra no abumani nkronkro ayibe nkro na atwa ni nyina wa hia ansa na akọ o transo no na akọ mikro mu hono ma akwamfie hono na afro pepo no sa tra eno so ya igbesa eno kra de eno na ne okujato
no
na map no say na city na furniture say ufri ubekọ Japan ansa na wasa akọ nudu ansa na wakọ abuasa ansa na wakọ apegusu Francadia but Japan no different region voter region na
meanwhile so we have cast Japan we east no
was like Japan there we east but omo no border no enso free so ga kopɛ honom no e de ba be pem
that's true
Japan honom
that's true
and ya geographic
papa but na pegusu kakra ho na misu na misa
ho so tia de boa pa ni se ote akosumba ote krobo
yeah
ote anguna
utichi
ote akwapem
yes
ansana
twi naba
anum
say anum so omo kasa be
different
anguna krobo anum
omo ka kire pon na
omo de na kwaye te se kasa maintenance sana inti so wa kosomu a utimi lucky na wasumu da ho kakra obete sa kasa we nyi media me brother medina media me ma nyini ewo ho but dia medina chi no ote sa kasa na
ni nyina I wish sanka metina me na nanchen kakra but because me ba me kwatena me na nanchen no me ba back to Koforidua me ma me wo ho no na me kakasa no ba na me nya obia ne ntoa so nka
challenge no
me ma me so eye denkyerani
no ba ka
me say anti kasa na na wo se ka
ogova igbenu yi
nti over time no I lost the language but makoma ko de
me say who say mintiminka akwapem twi but ekrom omoka mini anum nyina aka akwapem
okay yo yen kwa ne nkomo so e na ja language and geography lessons kakra yen tinsi other matters mum say ena wi nkomo na da pono so no straight to the point where the Chief Justice or describe the process leading to the removal no as
uma yentoa akwai nkomo yi so nanke yama Chief Justice
because topics no
okay
me the topics ni gu ho na ya sha se free baby
yo
nti wadaro ma
we dey ma premier
I say Chief Justice ne John Mahama I say o pro ho twra de be mi so me de envelope mo de bro nyanka nya ho botra nka nsa kan anyway so or say the removal proceedings are a mockery of justice and a ruse to unjustly remove her. You better the veracity of these claims, but I will say careful kakra because I have some of their court to Supreme Court and they are yet to make pronouncements on it. Earlier, no the biako. What they been so about can when and the can crying the way she's being treated at the committee level, or say on any lawyer not allowed to use to take their phones and laptops into the room.
So a prisoner,
but only prisoner.
She's
only on suspension. There been a some ministries be or company for be cry it me phone to her, but only prisoner. There be me and
Bibi say obi ko committee. Na say
what the mammy lake, so as we knew in the best into the mammy fan issues and as part of her concerns, she's praying the Supreme Court to say Anka Omu waiving the right so that she would have it in an open space. But the law is clear in Article 146 says such proceedings no say no kokuamu. Opesanka committee any mukrano ka opesene ne ma any nukunumu nyina baby na omobetai na chi. But committee Emma ho kwan ni nyina ye supplementary affidavits or the akoka earlier one na or the call no ehwo or say petitioners no ne omo lawyers there ye momo de omo phones any omo laptops but na den no there ye ne saa e be issues no chairman want to me provisionally and I say he's been cautioned over 3 alleged offenses na said ye enhyehyeye ne tie ne wasan kopie mu ewo police ID. One of the issues are almost unauthorized mining and so destruction of water bodies and mining in a forest reserve. I think say either the last State of the Nation address or the one before the last, President Akufo-Addo signed it. Eka say a contam mining enye boni bia omo patrose illegal mining na to Ghana mrebia. The background to this is that the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining, Erastus documentary of what akonta mining area no, it decided so busa IGP ano ho say hunu asem na IGP can say obian fa complain emre womo. So they took it upon themselves as a coalition and officially almost a complaint against akonta mining. The former IGP and investigation be into this matter, at least as far as we know. This new IGP appears to be interested in the matter and are leading to want to miss invitation any subsequent caution aba. In the case of Energy Ministry, so a Tracy 2,637 ECG containers to certain terminals. Now, my member terminals now. Who containers ni bi ewo ho no madam say mabobo bia mabobo anti ye fa no ensi ho na ye hya se emfiri ho Jerry one kekao ma memra wo ho na mentie wo on this first matter ECG containers in the latest year by uhunu ni saying
me hu say omampani I also
let me also add the same party LPG earlier say somewhere around 28th March what the statement to be by say Liberal Party of Ghana calls for accountability from Energy Minister John Abudulai Jenapo. So media no and it had to do with our containers in Semia just so that and also background we are aware so not here.
Nadia, me say Omampani also the service by appointing John Jenapo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
When deal.
Onim
Oh, how? That's so unfair. Onim who says it.
Onim hui. Ebia obetimi a perform for other places. My baby away.
Containers are similar.
John Jenapo. One, onim mass. 2, oya dadafo. 3, adwuma na e de amano no ontimi nye. Okay, Papa Bia, your friend or Boache Jako.
Yes, former energy minister.
I'm saying, Hona, what's now, Hona, might me mislead you, pa. I don't know misleading a Emma Kofi. Nam Abujina Pop, Edia were misleading or Mampeni or that's what office.
Misleading way. I know misleading my
Okay, I've forgotten the date, but I'm saying 22nd and not 24 February. Or Coco Briefy or Mampeni. I was antro we are. I will be catching Ghana for. Okay, so no because or ne Mampeni. Akwa amana ko briefy Mampeni. Just some more catch Mampeni na entro. No that Mampeni.
Intro ni dean.
Yet you no say containers are transition or modern no was 2,000
3,000 transition man 3,000
transition for
2,005
bibi mamen kasa or no say 2,005 and the dijano transition for so much 3,000
enya asem american
that be asem american wo say abujina po esi ejane 3,000 ono ko ya okohwe mu no o say 2,005
enti ono say transition figures e de man ye 3,000
yes
okohwe mu na ye 2,005 that is the point I'm making.
Now, I have a point and I'm making an answer. When I will make a point.
No, earlier your kind was not correct. And I'm a better
correct. Me say transition. It say Omujana 3,000.
Okay, 2,005.
2,005 and no na Abujina John Jinapo. It say Okotoye.
We initial statement.
China American.
I want Kepchi. Initial statement. I will say. You got the first figure wrong. I
don't
know. You got the first figure wrong. What the transition figure near 2005? What they call him? So
2005.
For the benefit of my listeners, transition team no emano 3,000 containers. Or say okoye head count no 2,005. And no the man is suspect is bribi koso. That is the fact. Proceed.
No. And so yeah, entro. Yet one man no saba say 2,005 na kwenye 2,005. 1,300 and something. So who they are making no. No, I let you feel free. I'm common lady. Oh, now no, I wanna unse inconsistencies eba. 27th now saba bonte baye we ni nam si no papa we person de nipa adwene edi agro. In some a mo kase container ayira na me I don't believe it. And until na me kase bisa no for accountability because as in some no kano in hada wom ana de dikan wakwa dada mampani some point na me kana Ghana for in person beti say wadada mampani no this man was supposed to get his figures right nasa ayira nanka ansa no akọ brief mampani anyanse hunu bia na de kọ ne ho
David.
But John Jinapo, Abu Jinapo, the Akamanu. Okay, so many
Abudulai.
John Jinapo, I said that for Mampeni say or a small boy. No, Dini Diagro, and no Dada. Which is unfair.
It be at the time now when you're figures in your eye.
Now when your figure will be a small. And obedient pray, Ejinachi. And I can't pray. So why committee now was set in? Forgetting say mobile na more day kikri na more occupy spaces, especially port no. NDC the Takashi na bura honum. Oman trying amaya handi over momo and omo ade omo pewura honum. Moko honum no say now dia moko ko yi na free honum no. Ono na preview to document. Internet or not the document we were work kanachi amaneko. It's better than the right figure now, so better than the right document.
Yeah.
It is out there in the free record. I was a ya copamono, ya taking over, ya saying, I was a sad in the trim. Bibi, say, I'm a race or my Nasa name who will moon into Chama. Yet one almost any Irish high and no minor, near ma adada for Ababeteki or mine no. Because I see I can say DNT and there was a John Jinapo. Esa kosa babium say containers in a 2000 almost 2,700
2,630
say ono understand there about bontim
so or set up 2 committees. First one no ewie na adwuma no and na or set up a second committee to do an audit
bibi nkomo ye de
nti na metutumu no
akwane momode na America na monti ase ni nyina ne say and na say ochina say in less than 5 months.
Different figures.
What the figures? Now we na mampani that's what one more we so be adwuma papa bi di aboa no. Hwe say ate one ma asa koya esa timi create false alarm. Nkania ni bedum kura. On my 2.5 days and 2 days
2.6
6 hours. That be 2 days 6 hours.
So no need to.
No one because I was nim woman na so nim dia o ya meboa. Enso no de che no no asa ba say o sa ai de e be pa wan kan na kura no e bi na kwan so eba. Na nim so to bia eba. O sa be ma false alarms aye den.
He was asked the question before the parliamentary
committee. It is how there will be bisa question. Na say wonni man tun ka wanu ntum.
O na say no nim.
Yabusa
say
ana crude no
crude situation
crude na na
2.6 days
I know 6 days so
and now
2 days 6 hours
say 2.6 days no 2 near days and 6 near hours
bibi
but he was quick to add say
boy no
have taken steps
boy no
on patronya boy that is a grown up man with a wife and children. To say wa unti boy the bunya boy before boy and mabu anim tia
sir
responsibility responsibility boy is responsibility
me free na go from me boy
masa before boy
oh yeah masa mama ni alaji mo ya
pressure now so nya boy is pressure masa ko anim
oh da me che no
yeah
adamete hono ma na me go through their happenings and cause Mugabe mo sister station bi ewo akire hanom eye program minister intimi frame so obi say wakwa kwashia no restaurant na wanchia no eno de minister intimi frame program nim epa nipa kra chew we na we niama we mu na hu hia no adwuma ade ma no de wontimi enye emayen actual figures. A whole radio program so Minister John Dinapoy hit me fry say kwadwo ebo me sorry say me beto restaurant onom no manchia enti no na ka wo so say hwe mu enso adwuma de ase ne nsa na nkasa hwe say no akoda da mampani ekina no akodia parliament no dada wo mo na tese futu frasa na we make so nima adwuma no nti onfa na adwuma nto ana say mampani in advice no na so on the darling boy kra na won pe ba bi mfa ne nkɔhye on kofa opa won so pe abeku santana ne no co tourism because abugina poade a wo ye die
me that
more mine no
okay me that Jerry
because here ade ya nessa ade nyira yo se ayira bibi
yeah
you refi okay say national security ba bonten but the letter be by say o ma ye say yemfa 706
enko jowlu
unim sa 500 na o mo pese o mo tugu no who's the national security baby a bi wono o mo dodo say na o honum 200
yeah
into 500 plus 200 no enko ye 3000
500 plus 200 then 3000
500 bi omo to atwene kra
Say no almost fast Africa income.
So initially no no more dada ye no. Unso almost almost 2,500. Actually na koye 1,000 something. And now se see no audit report here about ye. Actually say national security honum no. Na almost 200 be honum.
Yeah.
So I say international between national security honum no. A honor national
security 272.
Yeah.
Already evacuated by national security.
Yeah. And 500
meanwhile in March.
500 we know 500 na count money 3,000 no. And we yen wasem. And no make tell say and no count no more this 706.
Because in March,
their transition for into transition for the no the jaya 3,000 was the actual figure and was the containers at the port at that moment. Into no containers no.
Because okay in March we were told say national security evacuated 706 containers akomo installation there wo Jowolo no.
Yeah. In
this audit report, we are told that 272 were already evacuated by national security. So two figures now,
discrepancies. They are almost is to confuse the people. As so say, almost
can't teach them, confuse
them. Almost smart to say, "Wow, confuse them." You know, W, Bibi, I am one say, Papa no. Say obi de interest in so ana
adan
such internal omra no meka bibi because never be o no ma me say me dwene ho a me tiase a enye because obi a hyewo na ka nya abotre enanka audit report we kra ba ya say 2,000 say almost 2,700
yeah
it is a see an transition for the no me fan say be 300 and something and ayra what would I mention intino sa 300 and something no and also crab it me omo yeah audit for cry and also crab it me apie baby inti sa adena omo koko chesi India for bi say onipa our friend pani our friend na say ma waka no kro do esa say adia no mo sheda ekofa India for bi say omo na awia ECG containers no meanwhile no ma mo de about bontin so na say obi ankonko wi bibia even number kra mo koto ye na ebi aba be ka ho enti na okase na national security ne pentem to cover up and also more pentem akabibi just to make people relax over some missing containers no they now can na just say no trodo enti na national security no omo me 706 any 200 and what's it 272 what some figures omo free because they are not being honest to us. Enti Openi Osman, on my young babia, Yejina, some national security 700 and no evacuate because that time no more say or more let no more try no or more use 706 no. Enti or more 272 or more disposal. I mean they are
another interesting is a transition figure near 3,000. Na enne enalaji building ameba na enne almost so 2,637 it means we have 363 more. But the audit report says out of the 2,637 no 2,583 can be confirmed they say our port authorities so now between 2,637 and 2,583 no there is a difference of about 54 containers.
Yeah.
Alaji.
Yeah.
Akuntebu na ye bibi o.
Alaji e dem za container na wala.
Alaji mi ti o.
Jerry. Bibi.
It's on the face of Sir audit report. CSC we have missing containers bank 54 na kaka. If you look at how many they have recovered, and you also confirm say what port officials or no. Then CSC missing containers be what na 54. Not 1,000.
No.
So almost 2005.
Containers no are transition the two government the outgoing and the present. One handy over 3,000.
Yes.
And he said 2,637 and I say 2,500. Yeah, they said this is what they have handed it over. Opening uni maduba kwa this particular issue.
Baby this okay.
Nipa integrity.
Yeah.
You can't say.
Integrity
Baby.
Oh.
Okay, integrity any trust in wiase any money paye or the four.
Integrity I had to say animunyam
and umujidi like obi okay the fanasa.
Yeah. When him say
animunyam to say kusi.
Nyame onye ni bibia kwa. Ubekai, the first term of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now you Minister of Energy, be a friend, Dr. Kwabena Donko.
No correct.
No
the car power buy.
Or no the car power buy, and or catch and say, or the integrity too form say when Timmy and Sovo do so within the certain period, obey judgment.
Yeah.
Me did say opening oh yeah. Now by then, who deputizing?
Abujinapo. John Jenapo.
John. Okay. John JJ. Onu JJ Pana me friend. He deputized it. And I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Ena Okoye. Ena bra NDC ba opposition. Because of say West Manu Tama Omwohono. Obeye ranking member for energy. When NDC in opposition. Yes. Be for 8 good years. Until the beer apostle ewo ECG he knows everything. Ewo hono. And anyame chade eba ko bi no mu. Eba abemu. And omampen
kokumu
ba ben. And omampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Ehun say within all the NDC for omwo hono. He is the best man to serve in that capacity as Minister of Energy. Because of the 2 experiences were deputizing as a Minister of Energy, Dr. Koyeno, even or acting as an acting.
That's nobody substantive Minister of Power.
Yes, maybe. You see, so he knows things about it. And a yeko transition, he led the government transition team. Omushen krate munina ewiye.
Yeah.
Ono so na bra transition team no edi document no by say 3,000 we show documents no because anka owo bibi anko kan ye before your friends say. And actually ono call ye no kan say oko check ye no na aka 2,000 is it 2,500 about
2,500
and a coin. Me bisa say enti oko sa time no odi figure 2,500 no. Oko check ye.
Yes, or somewhere head count.
Head count no. And a year 2,500. Ubekai after that one no. Or somebody with another statement say 1,300 be as naira. So that's 1,300 no naira. Next say shortfall of near onukoye head count no. And a fish. And a fish is the same person. Ono eka we no ene say or say ubekai say yesi chai India bi na say your friend say ena yakochi eniema no a container no a machine friend say ECG cables no ye shishi ama omodi ba ye ebe tretre ewo. You see, and now or san kan say your friend say oko check ye no your friend say ni kasa no e ya donson. You see, so which is which? And media me who say really ejuma no ebu no so And in Ghana, say in politics, you will never be me. Me de bia mika. You will bra ye or mine. Am yourself? That's politics. And you will bra ye or mine yourself. Okay, politics there obia political party utimitra
among
yourself governance and politics. Okay. And no, you know it's a different ball game together. Propaganda no there and I say politics no among yourself no there. Wo nya wo party ubeka emekoto amanfo tum say ombeto amawo no ene ye wo awasem. But immediately na the 2 million man yes say wo asimesi bibi Ghana for ye wo gide wo mu ye the frank anu ache wo nsem say bedi animo then obvious ba say yen or mine F1 no we need to check you every statement and every move obey. So if you take by the words of during the campaign time or more opposition, and these are what they are bringing. I'm telling you, one be my na one be book Ghana buying, one be book Ghana anymore in the international world because Ghana say near no social media enamu Google and there you be who the first statement JJ Jinapo or in terms of energy. And I will Google Usambe Huwe. Your baby says, which country are we in? Therefore, Nyahina Yakopa. Nyahina Yabezum are every friend. And a nearby Sua Ukai, he make a statement. First, say, Kania aka 5 hours Nakana Yakodum. So first statement. Or you can hear that statement.
That was on the sidelines of the inauguration.
Yes. Okay. Obi the piano. Okay, no sunyame pan huntuma. Ama ekoye almost be 2 months to do some mile. And now usa be can say ye wodi 2 days again 2 days 2.6 hours. We mean tea be that abakwasem said
until 2.6.
Was
2.6 days?
Yes, 2 days.
Mask is away.
I said on 2 days 6 hours. But you see 2.6 hours.
2.6 days. A technical description.
And yet technical. It is. And see how many hours and
that is giving you an exact time frame.
How many hours and from 1 day?
24.
24. And 6 days no again.
6 hours.
Okay,
what let's say. And 2 days, 6 hours. 2.6 days.
Okay, and 2.6 days no. And so okay, no. Atra meboa. Though some of the crow be.
But so one count 2.6 days na fan twere ho. 2.6 days no was the current state of yen of yen fuel stock and be power generators. And no call ahead the cocker say nemo muno oma order
mamin too. Oka say 2.6 days. Any near bit me use. All right. Now your friend say almost 58 tons metric tons beer.
Eba.
Then say your mammy and your kodi what? So only capacity to work as a minister no on can on the honesty na ni pre this chair president boss pre boss kobna don ko ye no
but he was before a committee you busa no questions. It's not like ono anu asore no kan answer
open ye busa no question no we our ye nim no say kania asem no he have to onina bibia e won nsem and secondly so or that if you're saying about 4 separate statements, to be frank. Powers do to me no Constitution of Ghana media no control. He lied
on oath.
Yes.
our parliament. He was not. He didn't get his facts right. It's a lie.
So, you see, not getting your facts right cannot necessarily.
Get your facts right.
You can go to parliament.
Not getting your facts right is different from lying.
He lied.
You bet me do about parliament. A question be baby sound. You have every liberty. Say, okay, question no amudi too many no. I'm not prepared. Me kwa prepare. Aba.
Okay, then anka obeka say minister o ni mu.
Better than your dad.
And now, Ben, we appear before a committee. 14 you be no questions. What the answer say?
Statement, different statement, cry in you. Ma you and you, and I can't for na guy. Ma would there be no debi and
Bible ne kind
as good Quran crack. He says or Bible now a bisau who medical doctor I gynecologist o share na Nico bisau say obano nin say no ayedin no waka say your bema ebe yoba. How do you think say meji way to say we a proper gynecologist?
Say obvious. I know about baby.
You should be specific. So you should be specific. Okay, can me I
was say
I am here because me John Oyeteni anti bibi affecting tough was say ya ebe me ya pa. You see, anti the statement now oye no dey. Me jiri say o man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama. Ghana Constitution umanu kwany. Position mienu pe ese on fan count. Or he's a executive president. Anna, Mra say you have to get Obia Obeya running meet and I say friends vice president. And as you have to get Council of State members are under advice you.
I like Genesis for mommy.
Say, unim say, Tio, unim say, when you the constitution, untiminya without the two friends. Say, unkwa unim say, 2 million I had the man, Ghana for the man. Bet me a buomani na buomano. But say, 2 million suma, crying says, unim say, GDA Emma Obi say, onshore baby, position ministry be manwa. Na wo ni jidie wo ni mu se onkoye na se owo jidie na odi ama o mampani jidie e de atu so se nia uya no papa mo boni e wo midimu na tambia ukọ na wugu papa no ani ma se I feel His Excellency enye
o person okase woni na di
say me say
Haji Bodinga me na
me did say entwe ogu o mampani ani
me da say. So from NDC grassroots omo Atwemamponia constituency ewe womo echia the NDC executive member Emma Atwemamponia constituency and member of the Ashanti Regional Communications team womo echia the Honorable Sakina Oforiwa ene ewe. Inti Honorable Sakina Oforiwa NDC executive member Atwemamponia constituency was also a member of the Ashanti Regional Communication team. Grassroots omo Atwemamponia se womo echia wo ene ewe ene omo se womo emma wo aha eno ene ba ko edemo na mamenko koku Mauli na negbe hoe.
Misro.
Alaju say.
Me baby so bibi.
Yeah.
Me misro me nua kuma the foreign affairs minister. Will resign.
On resign. I don't know.
Oh, that's all no can ye.
Saden.
Like
other matters.
Oh, there be sasabuna.
Yeah, baby we are
be papa na ba.
You know
no can the can asem sesi ano me ba. No can asem sesi ano. We go a whole embassy.
You can do any other matters.
I know they want me to go now. I also resign. Sorry.
Remember, let me listen to you on this ECG containers issue.
Me that's a baby. My main chair.
But Chomo Kasa Koku I didn't.
My main chair Araji Bodinga Jerry Baby Mesro under 1 minute.
Yeah.
Omanpenyi call Ivory Coast. AFDB, African Development Bank program be a course Ivory Coast.
Okay.
To call in fact, I'll call Inra.
Okay.
Ivory
Coast, where is safe there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I enjoy it, but for such programs, security or what, at least able to protect you more. And for problem, but in a patch, so man, penny the Zambia to draw or forum no and pay your permission. I never call our penny can say, as I say, CD no, nya hondino. A car yard, public debt above from about 150 billion.
Okay. CDs,
yes.
Ivory Coast, AFDB.
Yes.
Now, okay, the league.
So, positive. And now, I can't say, baby, I want and then, yeah, processes of cocoa. Yeah, about cocoa. Yeah, about 40%. Or you who say the next 2-3 years, we'll process about 50%. We'll match because Ivory Coast they say no we have 50%. It's a match Ivory Coast. And so by 50%, no process cocoa.
No cocoa trees, no, but say na kaya galamsi.
Na say yeah. But boy, whom bonding say even Cote d'Ivoire figure crap no will surpass it, and it's also wanted. And you see, it's also on the back of the fact, say, last week now, Bank of Ghana a monetary policy committee meeting. Omudi beto bontin say, cocoa aya ton between January to April. Proceeds ayanya. It surpasses the whole of last year. Yes.
1 quarter.
Yes.
Sale of cocoa.
Proceeds.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sales are here the whole of last year. You see, it's also because
how does that work?
It works in a certain way. You see, Cocoa Board the information be add to Abontin. Say a few way. August. Ebe buwe season no. Price na ye debe more no. Ebe change Cote d'Ivoire there no. It's a positive signal.
Even though you do hono.
Exactly. It's a positive signal. You understand? Because you see, I've been saying this. As I'm my car baby. If I hear, Edu baby.
On the time now, no, they can't.
So you aware, pa. Edu baby. Last 2 years.
Yeah.
Togo is not producing cocoa. Cocoa, but Togo, also cocoa Togo. You turn 6,000, 7,000 per bag in Togo.
Who produce cocoa or Togo?
Well, sure.
I'm telling you.
Granted, yes.
But Omu produce. Mamicho area.
Oh, Mr. No. But quantity.
Clash of dialogue. And more Inti we no unoti a me san ba second round a ubetimi be use be 2 minutes be dey dealing with sanema we na wadaroma.
You see the point I mean is now you turn 6,000 7,000 at the time yen maximum cry 3,100. It was for that reason I call like Badu now obo any and those places parliament honum no Badu say KJB yen menu so side.
Yes.
Hamanso. It was a problem. Yes, smuggle cocoa every honina, pampangua, Hamanso, Ediba honina to Leclevi, Edico Togo. And what was happening, he said, there were vessels as available in Togo, Yetoa Edigum, and they were sending them to factories, waiting factories in Russia. That was what was happening. So this signal alone, I am assurance say you be match all those prices. It's very positive to the farmers. So
they are not smuggling. Again,
as we speak now,
in anticipation.
Exactly. Says that positivity no beba.
So containers
that's it. And you see this container matter no, it has to be in a certain context.
I mean too.
And the context ni say this is a will lay our foundation ni say energy minister buy no transition team no say almost handing over 3,000 containers. but no minister on about Abuja po eco port honum no nya discover 2,500 containers.
Yeah.
And from the word go, Yaman no discrepancy. No, I said no. This thing requires an investigation. And our forming our first committee now. Omuye mhwehwemu no. Na omuya sa committee no. In fact, included procurement experts and all of those things. Omukomu no report about Bontene say we are not able to account for about 1,300 containers. And our minister say Sadia. We need to trace wherever those 1,300 containers and discrepancy of above that 500 no. This is the contest. And so, and our minister can say, we need to use serial numbers because some importation in now of those containers. We need to identify them. And this is minister and he formed a 3-member committee. Say containers no and that committee no based on the juma omwaye no and almost say every between bontin say omwa discover about 2,600 plus containers.
Break or there is a bit of a difference. The first committee was made up of some procurement experts. This also omo report now. Omo kakakrebi about 1,300 containers ira.
Yeah.
The rest of the pages were more about procurement breaches in the practices and also ECG.
Yeah.
Then the minister decided to go a step further by starting a forensic audit. And no na o include customs, gapoha for and there is another agency and also
in fact national security.
One more report na beto has CIA who say omo recover 2,600 and something plus.
Yes. So omo nyina collaborate with this 3-member committee na omo yejuma no. So for me
so two committees on one issue.
No, it's just that 3-member, but
no, because two committees because the first committee presented a report.
Exactly.
Inti Mitmiaka said 2 committees.
Okay.
And based on the report, setting up the second committee.
Now we know Esan said 3,000, you say 1,003 Aira. And now also first ya catch and say like discrepancy of about 500 no. Now see and the yen hwehwe. And then na eyi we ni nyina left to me no. I think minister ne de bibia containers no wo no eni na attract your no attention nti se obi ese minister no twantro ana odidi o mampenya tema
hanka so di na so o mislead
o mislead o mampenya I do not think I do not think say that is the case because minister no containers na ayira no bibia containers no wo no e na o hwehwe. So there is no point of any misinformation or misleading. And I will plead. We are young people. Obi benya appointment say obeye juma no. I mean there will be issues, but let's not create the impression say ebia nipa no onye competent you can point it out. But a juma na nipa no ye no. He has not demonstrated that on competence about me and he is doing so.
No, in your view,
yes.
He's also speaking his view.
Yes,
please.
Left to me, he is doing his job and he's demonstrating it. But we can say, minister no, why deputy want to me and demonstrate this obey jumano minister and so near my bebre actually say on to me near jumano. This is near work cancel minister call radio afre into a radio program and you obey to me and say but you should admit say the minister has made but are you saying for a fact say and minister na can the entire time a minister anya that is the only thing the minister has made. How about clarification now or can edit the same you see 2.6 days na ina hagwa mu demonstrate say mu antiasi o ama for bebre na your minister no wanwa and this thing is a technical term uko gridco uko ECG
they use those terms
sa na mu ti ase and so and na all dey explaining So enya dia oka eye nwanwa.
Me dey enya nwanwa.
So please let's give our support to the minister. No mfanye juma na.
Now why do you say sir why do you say sir there is no line of misleading? I don't know if that expression is correct. Why do you say that when clearly initially Yakache said national security a movie 702 containers, sex containers to their installation. This report is telling us national security evacuated 272. There are other discrepancies. Ostensibly, he had briefed the president with those old figures, and a committee report will also state otherwise. But you are saying, sir, mislead the president in any way.
Bibi, is it Omaya Timu and Ghana as a country? Your information flow and our management is a problem. To say reports now, first committee in Ediba. Yes, 1,300 containers Aira. Say, Omampenyi si on here briefing at that point in time. I don't think, say, Minister Honorable John Jinapo eko briefi Omampenyi on kokasa 3,000 containers that yes Aira hu
1,300.
Sorry, 1,300 no on konkanchire Omampenyi. Nyero result report. That's what he represents. As we speak today, so Omampenyi say on here briefing about this committee, you see, recover and I discover and we have found.
The word is recovery.
2,600 plus containers now. And you know, I have a problem, say we don't have that. Is it a cutting edge? And you need that accurate system. By the press of a button, we hear information now. We accurate information. We don't have it. I know there is a problem. As we speak, Kraponi say, I bear me there because setting up committees, we know a lot of things are coming to the fore. To say we yet Eddie can say national security for I evacuated 700 and yes in national security for Omuakachi and now warehouse and now BBO under the Akeno is about 200. Difference no one.
That is very disturbing, especially when the conflicting figures are coming from the ministers' two separate committees.
Great. So a honor, and as we speak, I love to read report. The first one, we haven't. It was minister, only spokesperson, any media for Nakasa.
I've been urging the minister to make the report public.
Great. Myself, I would love to read. Until not be beer, say a beer, 700 no, ya evacuate you. Every national server, NII 500 every whole. Yen to me who say report mo yen to me who. I would love say yen pisa minister no, ni spokesperson no, say beer, 500 no. I mean, whatever the issue is, let's have clarity on it.
Now let me ask this other question.
Now, minimum no, because as we speak, out of the 2,600, there is an extra 300 say about 3,000. And also, we want to know because the BIA was saying, Minister Nankasa last time said it, or say or query ECG system. You hear transformers because Miami be complaining about.
Power
outages, low voltage, or here transformers. ECG force new transformers like whereas some of the transformers are locked up at the ports and some of the warehouses. Immediately also says weigh 2,600 containers to release it so that items now they can be put to use, and these are some of the things. So for me, I believe that the support Bema minister na in the energy sector so
the question I wanted to ask is with the benefit of this new report, we cannot continue to see 1,300 containers Ira. Because any report to me who say 1,300 containers, they were all with identified terminals.
Exactly. I agree. This is check cases here no. Uko Meridian Port Services. Ebigu Uko National Security. Ebigu And I'm new visa umua ubo.
Even for na dey so bi ho.
Gapo ha GPH
and Meridian should be all.
But
without checking on all those terminals, we were quick to say 1,003 were missing.
Exactly. And it's good, sir. Minister Nankasa.
But first committee, no more they didn't do a diligent job.
That is gross incompetence.
In terms of reference now, we didn't. It didn't include. I mean,
it was actually the first task. To find out the number of containers at Alajimba. The first task was to find out the circumstances surrounding the missing containers. Second was to probe ECG's procurement systems. But they didn't even consult the port authorities.
I know your problem, but my joy is minister has discovered another committee now who say about 2,700 containers, 2,600 plus containers, are available. Now 300
should rather be said. It has now been discovered. 1,300 containers are missing.
Yeah, my main cancer.
We have found more
than yes.
No, my main cancer.
Nasa adianu eira yebe oba with the statement. Busum be saying here answer na we report you.
But
they were working.
Yes,
the committee was working.
And the issue and say on to the air. And be catch Ghana for say we yaira. And I'm sure Minister of Energy. I think or cabinet status.
Yes.
Yes. At least bra won't conclude findings be a
Alaji made us say
corner ukwa no akase
so midi manusi no
what do I know see for
we enye say yes minister no we are requesting say on resigning the position na say o manpenyen transfer no o manpenyen John Dramani Mahama has solid confidence e woni mu say
yes
answer na yedi juma na hye nsa 8 years under President Akufo-Addo ni na ban. Then what investment are MPP for in the energy sector? There is a real challenger. What sector na nipa no or addressing? Let's give the person the support to be able to do that.
It will be in a quick name called the next.
Some procurement in some no.
Yeah.
Are serious pa? You say ECG.
Yeah.
So on the contract mawa amwako akoye adwuma. Ono abekere wo. Sekoto ade free.
As on ntimi nkonkoto.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make categorical sense.
Categorical sense.
So I chiro se kwa. Na kono na omwa say di ade na chi. Nti wo say contractor na ono kwa akofa de ne di aba no. Ne dia ne say okopa bosia. Na ode adi animu na ode akofa ade ne di aba because or the background na ECG betumi take about say 3 years and sana omotua
yeah
and you clear no and sana what you contractor neka
yeah
and omo ba no adene ba bedru so omo no na call ye and adene ba bedru omo ba inspector report into contractor no akofa de aba ye do sika ama I no cry sika na make say about 3 years. It's not as if say omo tua eka na show into the ECG as a whole no has a big problem. A big problem. Now, minim how omo force on betimi a solve a problem, and I know say John Jinapo can't solve it because
but information like you are saying procurement issues, 3 of their general managers have been interdicted.
Yes,
in line
because
with this matter.
Okay, my main kind messages kakra na enti amanfo nso kakra na Masawood Kumase Bantama said, what we are witnessing today under the leadership of President Mahama clearly shows complete lack of policy direction. Ghanaians have regretted voting against the NPP, and very soon we shall see the true colors of this current government appointees. As we speak, the almighty 24-hour economy is missing. Time will definitely tell. Daniel Edusebibi, did the previous government also tell the current government the various terminals containing the ECG containers? The ministry should make the report public. Opache say Anka transition team should have told them where the 3,000 containers
Definitely
are.
they will. Say a document.
Piaga say, I'm watching you live from Achima Safo. Samuel answer say, please find out from the LPG man whether they receive campaign funding from the previous government. We should find the BPA. Suleiman Kwenu said, which people are misleading John Jinapor then? Were they not MPP appointees? It is better John Jinapor starts sacking all of them. Moye Amamboy for first class. Paul Cassie said, Bibi, how do you feel when, Pacho, I won't read your message, Paul. You sound very insulting this afternoon, and I don't entertain such tone. Eric Kachu said, Bibi, please, some of your panelists are pushing some of us away. Well, everybody has an opinion. I'm sure people will disagree with you as well. They say, Obi Kachu said, because of opposition, who espousing, watching how will you feel? Democracy, me per se, say, we don't always have to agree. And Obi Kasana Nenya, it doesn't mean the person ought to be an enemy. Me and Tia once Paul Ameno Soji said good evening, Ayuko, and God's protection to you. Paul, thank you very much. Jerry, Chief Justice, I think the two issues the case of the Chief Justice issues are always about the way she's being treated. And Chairman Wong to me, who has also been cautioned regarding 3 offenses so far. I mean, too.
No, I'm saying, yes, you can picking.
Chairman Wong to me.
Yeah. As well, free,
CID, you know.
You can picking.
Same right, Juma.
There be sending a easy corner. I'm here, bedroom, been a better political witch hunt.
Until we know the details.
I mean, Kaseɛbɔ.
Me too.
Cocoa Board. They should stop lying to people. Cocoa Board does not give contract, not the mobilization account. Who is lying?
But Cocoa Board doesn't issue any statement about.
And American, is NDC for the SPLS lies. No, they don't give mobilization. Route. Our road contract. What do contractors are Cocoa Board? He was able to maneuver and then got his certificate paid. I don't know about his Exim Bank or whatever. But Cocoa Board, they mean say Omoma road contractor, they do not give mobilization.
One other Cocoa.
I have seen him there fighting and insulting. Yes, and then Raf, what's his name?
Fifi Boafo.
No.
Ankara now.
Yes. No more going to Kwajinisika. So Pesca acquire campaign. Oh, they are made. Yes, now for certificate in Koya. Why would they pay him? And Cocoa Board is an institution.
Records or
no, but I some of actually second some of Sikama or certificate. They should stop lying.
Go anywhere.
Oh, they are made channel. I don't make no. They are meaning Exim Bank. Minim so akwaji skabia ho no. And so akwaji a eno de no bank no. And our Jessica na say ontua ya the bank has to report to the police.
Politics I said.
And no. Because there are so many people. Me cry in Mabima omujis can adi. And even John Mahama time they collected money from normal friend honum cross now almost a year for a Greek project.
Away.
Accra, but close to Exim Bank now.
When I no want to kwaji, now so omukwaji.
Yeah, the problem is omukwaji scan nobody. Nobody question them. And I am a sir. Up to now
of 1D1F and Kofu Bridges.
I did this car. Oh, man, Yadumano. We know Exim Bank here.
Let me know Nimba could be.
But there's a sorry can once a man will be empty. Oh, they are making no. Into no Munjai Nipano. Mose Wire Bonnet. You invite him, Uncle Kana Nenumasem. but I say after the acquired said the higher bonnet ball. I know you're proud behind him say a political witch hunt. A woman so I have bonnet, a woman so I can't say man be an no cry and I say I no cry. Of course, and non wire from the court. Na jai the away because if do baby no, he will get sympathy from ordinary Ghanaians. Obia who said Ipano on Yahe, a bini Chief Justice D. Once I say, Omo ane ye de ya you know ye be no say it's attention no e bafem because on one kasa sorry e fight for the right. The antina ye nyina ye call committee. Mona momoti committee no so no ene mo lawyers mukita mo gadgets. Na mo ye adwuma pa denti na mo suro say ono na mo ba toto na no ono de ode ene gadget beba bibi se kukuru jaya keka ensu jai adia awawa de ada na nyemto no kwasem yemba ye nimre as Ghanaians MPP yebi omo chesi nkrofo ano mo ye nonsense. And it has to stop. The amunye into mo force abai and this better akonya so me buy na mo bo voice bi minimum nipa kro also first time
and the appear could be
also first time bia ni wono ma
Dr. Bawumia na kan na me dey musa no so ne adwene na
and also ne adwene na ai JJ Rollins circumstance or they win one time no it's different
from an
yes. John Mahama one time or they win here, it's also different. Omo akọ real election, I talk about their more party. I talk about Amako Congress, I talk about their more. None of them won it at once.
They know never.
The American say, I buy it me assassin.
Okay. Emre Ninkaso.
It be at the near future, no, there will be a new candidate. A new candidate, say your party win here. Or no your old candidate. Ba. It's a be a no about winning. It's a no so
cry example or sa conversation.
So
I say na Kofia Kwalu or no.
Wabasa. Our winning. You, I feel 2028 you be winning. Inshallah. You be winning. No question me woman yen kan enchire yen nuanom. Anra do bi ye a wo didi akonya no. Enne won so ye bi foforo e na so didi ye. Obi a kofie akwa use drawing board akwa mass ene calculation. Awe kwan a mo fa so ede bukata ene takashi mafia e fa akonya no. Into for say next time will be back trance yet this banne vigilante and I can say
vigilante groups
every Ghana NDC used it in 2024 and if ana okoya na talks in me we vigilantes.
Where was the police? The MPP was still in charge.
No,
the MPP was still in charge.
The police wanted his way.
I don't understand.
I know another conversation for another time.
The police wanted his way.
Yeah. Some police.
It's in a one chief vigilante for.
Now the whole Ghana.
There is a police.
Police are all Ghana, you know. Tesano has say, Amayako, Kenkan about to her. Also, we need enough men. I'm a vigilante. It will be too far police force or Hanoma. Now we are police.
But the MPP still had the power. The police has always been.
The MPP gave the wrong person the power.
Okay.
Ain't Asema American justice took no Asemno. Also, it's taking another twist. As I say now, demonstration say, Omofana Juma man, Omofana Juma man, Bibi. Nam say, Mamene crab a barbonting. Okay, can ho sabre na sabre nke bi oye na adwuma ana me ade ba ko kire ma adwene sa acting chief justice no say what the injunction me numura no de
or suspend it.
What the injunction kokoto or no so any
I don't know.
Because say no so
the same or act as chief justice.
Yes. Or the
it won't stand.
Sound because on one better so.
Because constitution is you establish a prima facie case against you. The president may suspend you. So president has suspended within the law. Or suspended was so acting chief justice. Rabiaso. I don't see an injunction succeeding.
Nema I say come see come say be baby. Me in my small mind now me can't law. But justice poor mind. Yeah, press conference to demonstration. I was emphatic on it.
Said
say only on no in-free committee no so.
Why you then?
It's say our interest. Our case in two Daniel for
yes.
Petitioner no.
Yes.
Oti movie. Yes. It's true.
The interest in anything. How do you establish that?
Onim Ecobank. Onim so money Daniel Ofori inya asem.
Tell me about it.
I will leave it for another day.
And how does Justice Foreman come in?
Justice Foreman, your uncle Brebo. And a tennis asem so. Yes.
Not him. And you're not tenaso. Nenyonko Brebo net.
That's all no Yonko Brebo Daniel Foria.
I feel now can what's in Yonko Brebo net?
You're part of the panel, and as it seems, so you're part of the committee.
Empty right there, no, you inclined will tell you it's a justice for my it's a wrong person.
Well, the Chief Justice is not petition against him. Into yeah. When the Supreme Court back.
And I make an baby. Hey, I dare bakwa ye di agro. Who say my man say no you sue them be my man
say it is a mockery of justice and a rules.
A bro mockery. One their NDC yes no. In 2028 and 2029. If they are able to maintain almost seat in government, it means there will be some succeed. Some pamoma we are. It means Article 146. A big number be now because Oma pamo mami we. And no more your margin say Omo be amendment. It was our article now. A big number be now because we be no better say amo some amendment. Inti no bia oba woni city bi oba no the chief justice aba
amendment in your parliament they control parliament inti na number ya found
bibi
they have overwhelming majority in parliament
inti no for say parliament eso say Ghana
parliament is Ghana parliament in represent you na
yes inti no when the masses are angry obetimi akọ parliament onom akoya amendment bi
e den number
obi an kan do obey sisi a but let that time come.
Medasi Bebreje.
And we all know what happened. Why we are politically strong, Biana, we are politically inclined, Biana, in him the NDC, ikita that number of people in parliament, in him the MPP, if and do you think it's going to happen again? Nah, it's not going to happen again. I swear to God, it's not going to happen again.
Koko, are you here? Do any brand accent and answer swear to God. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
Bibi. Yama no kre. And Rebi Mitrima, they will get carried away.
Okay.
Once a power, you see that Unia Bobby.
Common Bobby answer.
What did you call? I was saying this on that V8. No condition kakra for what no condition ma na to na day yam susuma to me in the deity because Rollins Krana or what's our track record no a Drew baby or Brandon was because a mere necessary who said Rollins initially Rollins has issues with the Kufu Ado a brand necessary no after Rollins be a Kufu Ado tight friend because no pair a Kufu Ado trouble Intina and
Ebi other theories about that thing.
It was rather the reverse. Rather the reverse.
Jerry's former me.
And yeah.
Justice Stockholm ni won't.
And the actual my boss. It's not a year war. Ubesu.
Yanfanesa. Alaji Bodinga. Amintiwe.
Well, yeah, the justice took on no issue. And I made it start. Openi se niyama no ekikaye efa say ye deny no niyama bi bets petitioners no yama won bibia na che say in fact ankoyi
say no credit
and I make us say niyama no kan ya ye friend say ya ankoyi and moreover nso no ye niyama wo Ghana sisi ya yen kan hu say ewiase ehwe yen because Ghana, you were GDB from the Fourth Republic, your friend said the beacon of democracy in Africa. Eh?
Yeah.
Yedim said, Kabima min Kabi, transparency, and your friends, and your young, and a young crowd in mind. The same thing, near maybe air kusisia, a man for Sushay. Because this is the only country first. Africa and I was in Nigeria to say there's a separation of powers. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. So a boss say one of the arm now or no, yes, and yes, superior inclined say your friends say they consistently to make up because judiciary almost swear executive. And one swear legislator. Na say same
wait a minute, yes, Diram and so to Tianeti.
Yeah,
they see I cover 2 CD. And also NDC for na man.
I said, Ghana indeed Diram.
Until maybe says NDC for na man so cause I cut down sana.
We have to study that one and find out. I like it also.
So anti we should guide our friends. And as ever won't me asem to be frank, say see yanka NDC no form more government. But when the government is in power, government and rule. Because we take commentary be brave able basso and baby amenity ye first say won to me wamamano wajiko board ska every NDC Ashanti regional communication
but alaji me say we police for statement no me the babon tin na Cocoa board is kebi
good.
Almost say he was, and I'm reading in part. Yes. I'm quoting in part.
Yeah.
He was cautioned on the following alleged allegations.
Very well.
1. Undertaking mining operations without a license.
Yes.
2. Pollution of water bodies. 3. Entering a forest reserve without authorization.
That's the charger.
The caution.
Yes, the caution. Your friend say. And Obaho opening before then, last Friday.
Purchase a name of caution.
Yes, neighbor issue nyama bi wo ho a hwenye ekoso. Police and invitee won to me. According to your friend say.
That is what it is.
Yes. Chiro no say hia no that was Friday. And oma chiro back say osrewom Friday no ontimi ma but obeba Monday. And a police for police headquarters accept you say okay mo ye twen ebaho what take the national security NIB and opacity they are round up nifi. The issue is between onu wuntumi any police headquarters the eba say na within Saturday no ɛnyɛ sɛ ɛyɛ bi asɛbi wɔn frɛ no na wama ɛna wɔ violate your friends.
Friday no mo call ni fi no.
Saturday morning. ɛna ɔmo kɔɔyɛ.
ɛna no team sɛ bibi kɔ so.
Yes,
it was a Friday.
Friday.
Adana ɔmo change.
Friday.
Yes, Friday. Yes, Thursday. ɛna ɔno kyerɛ by say ɔpa ɔmo kyerɛ Friday.
Afra ɔmo on phone ne ɔmo agree on Monday.
Even ɔkyerɛ ɛkɔ you say based on this ntimi ma me no medru bi bet Monday member. ɛna wohwɛ yɛ nkurɔfoɔ bossy bɛyɛ 20 any cars ebe rush what please yɛni your friends sɛ bi yɛni military rule ɛna secondly nso no sɛ bi sɛ mama frɛ no ɛwɔ police ɛna ɔsi even one ma you need to get a court warrant say ya invite one man nti yɛma mɛkyew but utie wuntumi a national security for no omubaye no obisa wo mo warrant wo he e na o se omunni warrant bia nkra wo e na o ka chom se only police headquarters e na omo frɛ no woni wo ma communicate wa hu say na say no we no na che say ni a amanfo ekeka e na ewo ho e na e ko ba chire wuti Abbas Nuruddin ena wakoji galam say sika ena wakoye your friends say waji sika every exim bank any koko exim bank say oyefuo na enye openi bank biye ni ho even say women development bank kura na ya be mawo jedi bebe kuku sika e mawo unu latra any guarantee
it can happen.
It may happen.
More good banks, you know. Emra mobile power na more good banks, you know. One of the reasons na banks need be non-performing loans is because they gave the loans to politically exposed persons. Maybe so the bank at the scam politically exposed person. Precautions are also taking in a your time taking.
And then whose fault?
No, and because bank be intimidate because banks be some magu krom
that's no.
So it can
bank be anywhere it can happen krom ha o can say ever let us say the first authority the banks no
so it tells you that a bank can also do the same thing because of the person
involved. You can only prove it at the court.
Alaji there are politically exposed persons so krom ha no more because of their clout in politics. Yenfa omonfa the rudiments mu.
But is that the law?
That is not right.
Correct.
Entenka say ntimi
mimi nyimni say sa nioma no esi. Oh yes.
Na mo so na mo kire banks ni gu ye kra mo kire say
the banks no a ukra say egu ye no enye say egu no. Wo banker we will capital we deposit here 300,000. Now what individuals can almost buy 1 billion.
Alaji, that's the point. The point is about non-performing loans and how politically exposed persons Emma Banks you can't say in the case of I'll say bank bien who obey yes and I know then you have violated the banking law and my point is that don't say Emran wo hunti mean see and I see is it correct no obi can say correct and correct I am telling you that in the case of a politically exposed person like a regional chairman of a party, a bank can bend over and allow the law to be thrown into the gutters.
And then that means the bank also, the bank manager or the authorities of the bank also must be sued.
No problem about that. But that means it can't happen.
Me, you may catch on and say, Bibi, who are happy FM, who are host to programming. They catch on say, Ube share headphone. Answer no betina machine console. That's the law. And she say that's a ubetina. No one share helmet no headphones no. Do you think say nyamin penguna BBC you can hold the management responsible?
No.
Yes,
I can't hold them responsible.
Yes, because they have given you the directive.
But it doesn't mean that
Bank of Ghana extra these are the rules. So who could benino? What was them?
What was some evidence say? Sikakura Exim Bank the man no.
almost follow all the rules.
Me say we just ke bia we Zimbabwe.
So
I don't know.
Now
me can say me see a political your friends.
Bibi Alaji say obi kokoje bank bosia. Me no ya yes ade we hu dida. I was akwa na okoje exam sika we bia wonye adwuma no. Me ko ba bia me ko kan wo friend no say ono a na akwaje ne bosia e wo bank. Enti bank ne na wa asema omo be frɛ no
contract with money bank
enti ne se wakɔgye exim bank sika exim bank omo akɔ report na ma yoko anaso omo report na ma
say yenim ne enti afrɛ no yoko
enti ne sansem na me ba enti sansem na
what if say exim bank dey for yoko
me ba sansem na NDC for no e de ba ano mo ka se wakɔgye koko board sika wakɔgye we sika
and nothing I may refer to what is on record. What is on record is what the police have said.
And I make
after sticking to it. Yes. Because maybe any no who need evidence be as Exim Bank sikabi no akwaje and answer Exim Bank. So my point is that let's limit ourselves to what is official.
Bibi and some be wo and I make can say ye wo bra ye amanyosem and I will bra ye omanyosem. And where be a information obia himself on the radio Ashanti Regional NDC new yes only
can't say no police for free won't to me no or refer to any of the things Abbas Nuruddin Kayana. But why to stick to it?
I want to say your friends a NID inviting baby. You invite your friends.
No need to invite.
Antina Mika say and so better from Adikai. Abbas Nuruddin and almost start NDC communication and almost my prior information said yamari na equity or me a wine
and I don't Chief Justice Nemri Nko Ayokoko
Chief Justice the media ya make say one month
to see you
Jerry you see
government you see you
say
party ba power hina obeti alaji ko anywhere
kakra ni won tie say
alaji o time so Emri ni ho
me a friend say justice took no issue no there. To be frank woman treaty no fair
okay
and he say pese pa and yes internal pen adie eko amanonia it will be a reference point from Ghana one day
precedence
yes and mesre yenhwe ne ye pepepe ne yenye
yenhwe ne ye pepepe
committee no a omutina ho no they should know who of one son
no ahwe de
me da sim
na boy go cover video yi
je me da say alive soap seminar me kan for ma e ma honam ne ye nome e moisturize your skin no e ma awia bokra na wo be kwa ba kama o skin in break ye wo flavors bebre lemon coconut aloe vera and a rose variant alive soap e wo shop biada e affordable ne bo from pebi na e ma o skin no enye kama koku mami nteu Bibi, yes sir. Akoku o politanko fie. Uni bi on. Mepe bi ama on. Mepe Rambo na ma. Rambo.
Oh, okay. And then what that is nana.
Debbie.
Okay.
Okay. Politanke papa.
Because me think say be what.
Debbie. Kan ho Debbie politank.
Papa na
30 years and over.
Okay.
Yanko
Bibi
should discuss gum. Politank store bibia.
Bibi.
Yes sir.
Chairman won to me. Say o see o governor na. Eduobi o say governor nti o John Mahama beba Kumasi kra. Yiso anya permit on
the lighter side.
Okay. But police for our friend atutu nenu masem enura efa illegal mining sensan ho. But yemi nwanwa say wa deny or maybe we are on the advice of only lawyers and all they are denying. But evidence no pe raso sasari donko ejuma wa ye video ayehu ka akuntam mining.
Now we are where say Minerals Commission man is our concession. I who documents in intact.
Minerals Commission NDS Abu Jinapo no oye Lance Minister in the past ebe kachre say to me any mining lease ana say obewura forest no mo nti say yes say nya report vi ana documentation for every ebe kachre say ono license na
pacho onkwane ete wonka
kasawa say bibi asamba ekire a onfam bra mayenhu so nya see the na minim say police for nhwehwemu and investigation na ekoso and with time police people will proceed to court so and I believe say nya information anya because at the time na Abujinapo kasa anka won to me or license
anko kasa
Obeka because Abu wouldn't have said what he said and every honor I think galamse collision no I shall say cancer nipa no ni permit so begura we forest honum no there then na what me awura ho and echire no yet in some bebre in fact say some of the concessions na ewo forest honum no Chinese for and I've seen one of those as Erastus video Chinese no eka bibi can no see akunta mining and Erastus explained it that the Chinese people are saying that it was as kunta mining that gave them the concessions at the time to me doesn't have or akunta mining doesn't have permit to even do in fact enter the forest mine or land concession and not grant others concession. He doesn't have that power. But here we are. Until May at a set, even though it was delaying now, the police will have taken an action. So I'm expecting what will come out of this in the days to come. But I expect the police to do a diligent job. I expect them to do a diligent job. And say no, because illegal mining is an issue. Higher kesepa so
that time na konta mining wonim say na no nkwana na ewo South Forest in the move. No share border with another known and
you understand?
Oh, Nasa
you see
the other company in
Bibi, and let's put it on record. In 2016 or much earlier 2015-2016 I remember very well. Cocoa roads under President John Dramani Mahama. Cocoa contractors now Cocoa roads near mobilization.
More time.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was something Cocoa board was doing, but we know I can't tell. This is a Jerry can say Yama
mobilization.
I can't tell.
Maybe not policy.
But sir, government was handing over on the 7th. By 8th, now Obi deputy CEO bet to have 50 million Ghana cedis into Obi accounts. Why say Nipano on Tuano on the 7th? Now even CEO Nanka Sansono Ewo. And on your CEO, no can my order say he was a deputy CEO. So it calls for question.
But if the money was due to be paid,
it's also another matter. Because Matisa Jumano Crapono, Nipano Onye, Ne 20 certification no Crapono, I mean, cause for question. So this is EOCO for so let's allow this process.
So why no raise certificate and no much there. And
I'm saying that all these things will be revealed. Ghana Hano, we are a country of laws. Police by 3 p.m. only the lawyer almost free home. So the same thing EOCU. I mean, if he's able to, conduct himself and explain issues to them, investigation vehicles will be he will come out. Clean. So I need any problem. So let's have ways for the system. Na nipano befemu at the end of the day. No.
Okay.
Chief Justice. Bibi.
Yes, sir.
Share. Article 146, subsection 11. Or see, the president may, at any time, revoke a suspension under this article. So, se bibi wa ha say, na mate Chief Justice, ya suspending no. Na okasa ana or take system no on or say his or describe process no is say we are making mockery. Yes. And I find it so sad say Sasem no be free Chief Justice ano eba.
If that is what she's observing and experiencing.
Remember Bibi what kind article 146 now? You ube who say, in fact left to me, I haven't seen process beer ya sidestepping ana say abuse ana say etia onwa or ya Chief Justice na ya suspending say committee we ewie na djuma na ni hu so president no betumi amana say be ye we djuma. So to the extent say nyama na ewo ho, in fact who interlocutory way injunction na application na or the court ebini say or say nanka yemma ehu kwan ono ni kunu ni ma omu tumi ko castle hono na ni ebeko so bia no na omu ntina ho bi entie bi hwe article 146 subsection 7 in fact subsection 8 or see all proceedings under this article shall be held in camera e kire se wonkwa obi anka wo ho
no lawyers.
Exactly, we need lawyers.
Petitioners, no committee members.
But no external person, and now be a some no funny home piano, and random man kwan. It's for a certain reason. And the person said, and you went there with your husband and your daughter. It is against the law because you see this camera no. Ye mom kwan this people. Now you can come public and say that is not, and now people to me call Supreme Court and baby say it's no longer an in-camera processing to know it must be quashed.
She can't continue. Yeah.
Then you will succeed. And I believe that committee na we no abandoning na a consideration way. Here, certain na Council of State by prima facie determination no. A hona no actual letter say. Ye mano petitions no ye forward man no ni response Chief Justice no response beba o mampanyin che no adu press ana way and some of the waning no if you are an effective government you can anticipate say sanya no if you are not proactive, it can create a problem for you. And it's not for nothing. Say yes, cast security zone. Or no say anka or no per se. Yemfanko judiciary way.
Enya or no or say previously. Yeah, such issues have been dealt with within the presence of the judiciary.
Exactly.
But this time around, they almost year free the presence of the judiciary. Now, baby, almost they not quite intimidating.
But you see. But to an extent, it is her wish, say, Enfanko judiciary honor. But it's for a certain reason, say, you cannot practice. But why? Almost courts no class sometimes they depart from their own practices.
But that's not even catered for in Article 146.
It is not there. It's not there. But Bibi, me, what I really have a problem about, she raised an issue, and you see, if you want to be fair, and me, in some of these things, I try to be fair. Or see, prima facie determination, no, or person own
reasons.
Reason no, nyako a woman, prima facie determination, no. Left to me. No, we haven't. Nipana resi adieno, waresi in the injunction. And for me, I thought about it and said, wow, this is fantastic. That you want to know the basis. By all checking constitution, no. Articles 7, 8, subsection 7, 8, no, is silent. But it's a good point. But what do you do? For me, you cannot be raising this before the committee, and now you can't be injuncting the process for this. Best thing is, you go and seek an interpretation at the Supreme Court.
Is that what she's seeking?
No. She's injuncting way or court. Yes. Or court say court no.
Pending the determination of the petition, Yemma committee in holding on.
But
is that not the normal process?
Yeah, but we know but process now was 60 is at the High Court.
The interlocutor convention. And some Kodoko Supreme Court.
So we pay interpretation say, I want a basis, I want a reason. Say, because it has not been in the practice, say for prima facie determination, you know, young trauma say, we anymore. So for me, in my estimation, it's a constitutional matter. So called Supreme Court, now why yes, our case, no? So you can ask the Supreme Court, EBIA, on your determination, say EBIA be suspended because we are critical. You can go and make that case there. So that's why I have a problem. Or use this process.
Strategy,
no, I leave it for him. But me, in my estimation,
but enuntina. The reliefs now will seek but general. The committee must be stopped. And sana committee members so almost so issue different. Now the entire committee ni say reliefs now will seek and who adwuma na committee ne be
exactly
nti se ma committee ni to aso whilst ni petition ni there then you are not being fair to her because we na say Supreme Court si na asamo a work kan di mu a na say committee na adwuma wa na ogunu hu fia na say den
well
nti na asamo ni say let the committee hold on until you determine case na me dia brɛ wo no
Bibi, and for me in the days to come be a court no and so be any determination.
That's right.
By your kind so no committee so no egusua what I expect ni say she's a chief justice who has been suspended. Likelihood say obetumi aba no e wo ho. Nti ni disposition no ese ma on bastardize system no on have confidence our system no mo processes na e wo ho ama ho kwan e bia afemu da.
But if she has reason to believe says system na you use CCR no ebotia na
no
say so Kaseɛbɔ because I want to have confidence men come on to
Bibi so how will you say committee we and in fact ye ma ho kwan say when fa wo phone enko ho
na then others na be omo
great it goes back to the in camera petitioners no in my estimation I don't see how no say obi ko year recordings bi ho di beto abonten then no one kasa no nienti amo say ye remove nipa no from office no will be defeated. So you have wasted your time. But onu say no ti say a petition no onu ni response a leaky. Now when so oba ne
but you know what the Chief Justice is doing with the supplementary one it appears to say I didn't hear in camera but through a seminar of the court to Supreme Court we are getting to know what happened before the committee. So it is in camera but she's finding another way in camera issues through her petition to the Supreme Court.
We're not circumstances around we no never bonting but not we never committee.
Unfortunately,
I see you go explain tire. Oku brebre. Asem can okra. Asem piety. Asem way Mahameno and the Musisino. One more petition and the Mukita Mufun.
May I say, Alaji Bodinga, former MC Abuakwa North, Koku Mawuli Nanegbe, member of the NDC communications team. Up next, a happy Kaseɛbɔ Midin and a Besmark Brown. Thanks to my team, all ladies are fair today. Ochina Nyame Admo Bishia.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits.